Hey, hey, what's up, everyone? William the Alchemist here for another hand cam stream. A little bit different this time since we did Lego last time. Um, as you guys may or may not know, I got a 3D printer recently. Oh my god, I'm muted on Discord, so my thing's not moving. Sorry. New format, so I'm still getting all the scuff figured out. Oh, that's not my chat. That's Sherm Dukum's chat. Why do I have that out? Chat is disabled for this live stream. Uh-oh. Hang on. What did I do? What's up, Nick? What's up, Daniel? Welcome, welcome. I found the right chat. I hate this keyboard and mouse, but this is what I had to do. Hey, what's up, Lux? Chun Li time. Yep, yep. You can. I'll show off what we got so far and what I'm hoping to do. Let me pop out Twitch chat so I can read it. That is a self docs. I have hands. Yes. If I sound a little weird, that's because I'm masked up because when we do sanding and filing, it's going to create a bunch of dust, and I don't want to breathe that in. It's not good for you. So I am talking. Is this how I game? No, no, no. This is a separate computer, and this is the only spare keyboard I had. But it's wireless. I just have it charging right now. But no, it's little, and I can get it out of the way, so I can do all this. Already a problem with the mask is it's fogging up my glasses. So I did a poll on the channel. Let me know how I sound. I have two different. This is on a second computer, so this has a different microphone setup. So hopefully I don't sound too loud or too quiet. I did notice on Atelier Yumia that my gain was cranked because for whatever reason the settings on this computer copied over to the other computer. So my audio game is all over the place. I sound good. Thank you so much, Dave. I hope you're doing good tonight. Lux says I sound good. All right, we'll take that. I sound a little muffled. I do have a mask on, so that is that explained there. So I did a poll on the channel about what project we should do after the Lego stream. Just got off work. Hey, this looks like a nice chill stream to play a CRPG too. What's up, Aaron? What are you playing tonight? So I have a Dan model that I need to take off the supports. I have a power model that I also need to sand. What kind of mask? Just an N95. I don't have a full respirator. Startup Pathfinder Kingmaker. I have that. I have yet to play it, but I've seen friends play it, and it does look like a fun game. But an N95 is better than nothing. It's better than raw dogging it and breathing in all this resin dust. I also have a Corin that I printed, sanded, and primed. This is a resin printer. I have an Elegoo Saturn 3 Ultra. Those full resps are expensive. I might have to eventually invest in one, but I've got a really nice filter system, a hood filter on the printer to keep a lot of the fumes handled. And then I use water washable resin, which is supposed to be less toxic than standard resin. So I'm hoping I'm not causing long-term health issues, but I'm still taking precautions with the gloves and with the mask. But I ran a poll. You guys voted on Chun Li. So unfortunately, I've already taken her off the supports, and she's already posed together because I took pictures of her to put on an Etsy store that I'm still working on. The ones with visors or without. I don't know if I need a visor. Halfway to Plat 3. Shaq, you're already ranked higher than I am in Marvel. But I wanted to show off what we already got so far on the resin printer. I hope the Brio is showing how nice the Chun Li is. And the cool thing is, it's just a bust, so it's just her bust up. And she's in a fierce pose. And we got this cool little stand. And that's the whole thing. Hopefully when we get there. But tonight the goals are going to be, I need to get the tack off. Because like I said, I posed her for pictures to show like a before and after. What's up, Merlin? So we're going to need to get all that junk off. And then I don't know if the camera will capture it. Oh yeah, it does. You see all those little divots? So when you take models off of a 3D printer, they have a whole bunch of supports that they get printed on. And whoops, there goes her bangs. But when you snip those off or tear those off, sometimes they leave little holes like that. So I have actually a tiny cup of resin. I need to get my toothpicks. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna dip just little bits of resin into those holes, and then I have a UV flashlight, and we're gonna spot cure all the little holes. So that way we get a flush finish, and it's made with the actual resin that she's printed with, so it's gonna be perfectly smooth, and we won't have anything standing out that looks a little weird. Why is there white stuff? That's the sticky tack that I use to pose it together. So she's not glued together, so I can tear her arm off just like that. And we'll do it in pieces. I'm stealing your method. I was using a barbecue glazer. Oh, for this? So, yeah, she's only temporarily put together. But yeah, you can make all the the white stuff in her holes jokes as you guys want. Get your minds out of the gutters. Jeez Louise. So, you can see how many parts she's actually in, which is pretty nice because it's going to make painting her easier. So this is why I didn't want to glue her all into one piece, because it's way easier to just, I can hold her hair bun by the plug and paint like this, and that's way easier, and then I'm not touching the parts where I actually want to paint. So pretty easy, and I think this project will go pretty quick because it's just a bust, so it's just her chest up and then a base. So I forgot toothpicks, so I'm going to grab toothpicks real quick. I'll be right back. Hey, Disaster, it has been a while. I'm doing great. I hope you are too. I will be right back, chat. I promise. Nope, you're supervised again. Haha. No anarchy. All right, toothpicks, important tool here. So yeah, I've got a little. It's actually a plastic wine glass, but we don't drink wine anymore because we have health issues that prevent us from drinking alcohol. So I'm just reusing these. These plastic cups are pretty nice. I mean, aside for being so deep, they're pretty nice for just dipping the toothpick in and dribbling resin into each spot. Hang on, I'm gonna do two things. One, we're gonna turn off autofocus on the camera. Guess we forgot to update their name from Disaster to Diz. Let's see. You know what would be cool to print? Like a 1/100 scale weapon. I'd love to see paint weapons from Devil May Cry. That would be cool. Do I have the Asian gene? No, it's something else. I'm white. I'm not Asian. I finished a weapon set for D&D. I did like 8 weapons and a flip-flop. Oh, that's cool. I didn't see you do that one yet, Lux. Forbidden fondue. Oh yeah. Even though this is water washable, so it's less toxic, this stuff is still pretty nasty. You wouldn't want to drink this or breathe this in. But what's up, darn Sig? It makes sense that an alchemist try to recycle and reuse. And it makes sense. I mean, I love the 3D printing because I use a resin printer, so I just have this vat of goop, just like this, goop like this, and then literally magic, which is UV light. It comes down into the goop. It casts the UV light onto the tray, the building plate, and then you give it 13 hours, and bloop, we get a whole model like this. So the other thing I said I would do for you guys is I will turn on some music so that way we're not just sitting here agonizing. Wait, I need to make sure I'm muted so I don't hear myself. Okay, I'm muted there. And I'm muted there. All right, so we won't hear echoes. We'll get some synthwave playing. I actually like this. Unironically, I listen to this even when I'm not streaming. But this should be some good background noise. Let me know if it's too loud. You should be able to drop a link to your Twitter, Lux. And if it doesn't let you do it in here, you can do it in my Discord and tag Cyberwolf in there. You guys are both in my Discord. It reminds me of something modelers like to make. Mix cut-off plastic with acetone to turn into a goopy substance, and you can use it as a goo. Oh, for model smoothing. Yeah, sprue goo. Yeah, I use... The resin here doesn't break down the same way, and it won't cure the same... It won't work the same way as sprue goo does for like 40K. But the same concept applies. Like, this resin is just this stuff before it gets hit with UV light. So if I were to just like set this outside, it would cure in the shape of the bottom of the bottle. Oh, I need to turn off autofocus on the camera. EFAP? Yeah, EFAP's a channel called Every Frame a Pause. They do movie reviews, but they like watch the whole movie and then they'll pause to like critique what's going on in the scene. I watch them from time to time, but they upload stuff to YouTube super late. Like, the stuff that gets uploaded now is stuff they recorded like a year or two ago. Like, whoever's editing for them is a little behind. Oh, I think I want to zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see the detail maybe a little bit better. Let's just take it to 150. You guys don't need to see my whole... I don't think you guys need to see my whole setup. Actually, the autofocus might be important. Hang on. I'm going to turn the autofocus back on so I can show you guys details. We're still learning. We're still learning. I'm going to take my zoom back a little bit. Maybe 130. There we go. So that way I have a little bit more dusk. So, I've outlined the project, what we're trying to do today. They cover other YouTube reviews of games and movies, yes. They do get compared to CinemaSin, that's true. Some of my favorite YouTubers have been guest appearances on EFAP. There's a... When are we collabing on our contest? I meant to respond back to you in Discord. I'm comfortable painting anything, I think. So if you find a free model or a cheap model STL file, I'd be happy to grab it. Or if you got one that you want to send, I'd be happy to print it and we can figure out the details of the contest. I'm in the process of printing a Fallon model for a friend. And it's going to take 10 plates. This is going to be an 11 She's on an 11-inch diameter base, and she's 13 inches tall. So and it's going to take 10 plates of parts to get the whole thing printed, because she's got her base, the dragon legs, the wings. It's a crazy intricate and huge model. So unfortunately, my printer is going to be tied up for like 5 days doing all that printing. And it's a what color Chun Li am I doing? I was probably going to use traditional colors because that's what I'm most familiar with from when I played Street Fighter 2 Turbo way back in the day on the Super Nintendo. What grit sandpaper? I guess I should go over the tools of the trade tonight. So we're going to start with the super gritty stuff. I have 220 fine grit. That's the purple paper here. And then I have this 3M wet or dry. I have 400. And then I just skip all the way up to 1,000 for the super fine finish. For the most part, I usually stop after 400. I haven't found I get much off of using with the 1,000, but I don't know if I could show you the details, but one of the spots I really want to get is on her jaw right here. There's some ridges from the supports I really need to sand down and smooth out. That Fallon sounds like it'll be badass. I'm going to take pictures when it's done printing. I might stream myself snipping her off the supports and everything like that. But she's got a cyst. No, that's her earring. She's got little earrings, dude. Never heard of 220 being gritty. This is the... I mean, I don't do anything grittier than 220 because then you're just shaving off whole portions. Can we autofocus, please? Hello? Alright, well, just gonna be a blur. I main Cami like most chads. I didn't have a Cami model available, but I do have some other fighting game girls that maybe we can play. I have a gender bent Terry, so we could print a female Terry. I don't know. I'm gonna put this stuff to a poll. What my future prints are going to be. It's a funny number. You know what, darn sig? I did not put together. I have 220 grit sandpaper, which matches the 220 mean. But yeah, Bear Man, I will. I'll show off the Fallon because it's going to be the biggest thing I've ever printed. It's going to be the first thing I've printed from this artist. So I'm real excited to see the project. Oh, also to go with the sandpaper, I have a nice little filing kit. And then, and then these are nice. So I think these are 400 and 600. Oh, there we go. We autofocus the way I want to. So these are basically little thin strips of sandpaper with like a spongy material between them. So they're real nice to get into real narrow spots. I don't... thankfully, Chun Li is going to be easy enough that I don't think I'll get to use these. But I have worked on prints where having this type of sandpaper was so nice. And then, as always, the X-Acto knife is trusty. But I've already kind of used the X-Acto knife to get her off the supports, so I don't really need... I don't need to use this a whole lot. The dent on her forehead you're talking about, that's where her bangs go. So the hair just connects. There's even a little peg. So it just, gotta remember from the Lego stream to hold it out here so you guys can see. So her hair just goes like that. So, what's up, Arana? Have an excellent lurk. Thanks for hanging out. Alright, so I'm going to start off by scraping all the the sticky tack that we started with. And I think I can get away with just using a file for that. But like I said, I used the sticky tack to put her together to pose her for the screenshot. And now that I have the model in the thumbnail, I don't need all this sticky tack. So we're gonna just work on cleaning all the sticky white stuff out of the holes. And we can probably just set that aside. We won't I have plenty of sticky tack. It was like a 2-for-1 sale on Amazon, so I don't need to keep any of it, so I'll just throw it away. Hey, what's up, Rydrake? How you doing? Giving handies on cam? Nope. That's not what's going on. Move that away so it's not getting dribbled on. Move this so I'm not... Shoot, you know what, Merlin? I'm so sorry. I haven't listened to Dark Things yet. And I honestly meant to, because I do like Starset. So I'm really sorry. I honestly meant to, and it just slipped my mind after the time you mentioned it to me. You know what, I wonder if I can use more of the sticky tack to like gather up. You know what I mean? Like if I roll some sticky tack around on the sticky tack, it'll all kind of like grab itself up. But now I gotta figure out where I put it. My stuff's kind of all over the place. Hang on, let me look by my other computer real quick. What's up, Dai? No, this is not food. You would not want to eat this. Okay. I've got more sticky white stuff. Let me see if this works. If I can just like roll this around and see if that helps gather up the stuff off the pieces here. How are you doing, Dai? Hey, that works way better. All right, we're just going to use a big clump of sticky tack to get all the sticky tack off, and then we'll get to sanding. Doing well, just making some food. Nice. I made broccoli, spam, and rice for dinner tonight. Basically just using up a tin of spam that I had in the fridge and some broccoli. You know, trying to use the broccoli before it went bad. When a cobra bit Chuck Norris after 3 agonizing days, the cobra died. I love Chuck Norris jokes. In a year, we'll have Will 3D printing a one replica of Ryza with organs. I do. There is an artist I follow. I haven't signed up on their Patreon, so I don't get their prints just yet. But there is an artist I'm interested in, and they do have a Ryza file that they've already done. I did General Tao's chicken and had some Thai rice noodles. Nice. Is General Tao's, is that spicy? Chuck Norris doesn't wear a watch. He decides what time it is. What's up, Christian? I think one of the other... Oh, I got a couple. Underneath Chuck Norris's beard, there isn't a chin, only another fist. That one used to be funny, and then Family Guy featured it. I kind of lost it. Orange peel, onion, and green pepper. That sounds pretty good. Then, when Chuck Norris goes swimming, he doesn't get wet. The water gets Chuck Norris. That one's kind of goofy. It was funnier in high school when those were all the rage. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that. Her hair bun's cracked a little. I might be able to fix it with some resin in the crack. That's the only drawback, one of the few drawbacks to using the water washable resin instead of, I guess, more traditional resin, is this stuff's a little bit more brittle. I mean, it still feels pretty solid, but when it breaks, it cracks. Kind of like glass. All right. This is going faster than I thought. Chuck Norris's tears cure cancer. Unfortunately, he never cried. That's a good one. Did I see the clown that hides from the gullible? Nope. I must be gullible because he's hiding from me. Hey, you look up gullible in the dictionary, you'll see a picture of Merlin Reigns. Chuck Norris built the hospital he was born in. When Chuck Norris does push-ups, he doesn't go up and down, he pushes the earth up and down. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, come on, don't get stuck. No. Okay. I haven't figured out how to get the avatar to show up at the same time. And I would have tried it tonight, but my phone's actually really low in battery, so it unfortunately did not work out. So we're still using the Fuji. Merlin, you asked about her colors earlier. Am I correct in remembering that it's blue with like yellow accents, so like the highlights and stuff are yellow, or is it white? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember off the top of my head. Ooh, that came out clean. The main one is blue and yellow. We might make an alteration to that because my experience with painting with yellow is a horrible color. Hey, what's up, Rain? I hope you made her thick as hell. Well, I'm sorry to say it's just a bust, so it's just a chest up. I think the puffs are white. Yeah, the hair buns are definitely white. I really don't want to paint yellow. I have a couple other projects that I've tried using yellow paint on, and it just runs so thin. The puffs are blue too? Can we do a blue and white? We'll do a slight alteration so I don't have to paint in yellow. Because yellow acrylic paint is like super runny. And you have to apply a bajillion and a half layers to get it to start to look right. Chuck Norris sleeps with the light on because the darkness is afraid of him. Alright, almost got her head cleaned. Legally distinct Chun Li. I don't think it's an issue to call her Chun Li. This is a fan project. It's just fan art. I think that might actually be plastic inside her, not resin. Or not sticky tack. Did I get all the sticky tack up? Oh, I still gotta get it out of her bottom. So many funny phrases here. The top and bottom of her outfit is blue as a white middle around her stomach. Okay. Chuck Norris once did a wheelie on a unicycle. I love how we're doing Chuck Norris jokes tonight. She has a blue jacket and it's gold accented. Okay. That's going to be one drawback to trying to paint her is gold accents. Oh, well, we could try to make it work. Come on. Alright, that's as much as I'm gonna get. Where's my X-Acto? Should be able to get the... I left you unsupervised, so you learned a bunch of old jokes. I didn't stream yesterday. It was Wednesday. I don't normally stream. You voted for Momo and Okarun? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work through the projects that I have on backlog. So eventually we will get to everything. We will paint Korin. We will paint, or I will snip and sand Momo and Okarun. That's the next one I really want to work on. I really need to paint Korin though. That's supposed to be a gift for a friend, and I've been painting other models to like get my technique up. So I want to paint like Chun Li and maybe Power to get my technique figured out. So that way when I print or paint Korin for my friend, I can feel satisfied with the job. But Korin's gonna be a cool one. Go still check Nora's stories around the campfire. But what I realized from the poll is I think people want to see more video game characters than anime characters. So, I just got a Invisible Woman print, Marvel Rivals. It's the Malice skin. That's the really demonic, leather-bound Invisible Woman. I got a Tifa, and the Tifa one looks really cool. So I think now YouTube has it where we can do image polls. So I'll post, once we finish Chun Li and Korin and Momo and Okarun and Power, I'll put it to a vote with the next one that we print and sand and paint together. And so it'll probably be like Tifa and Malice. I might put Lyn from Fire Emblem on there because I think Lyn's really cool, and I also really like Fire Emblem. And I'll try to figure out a fourth character. Is it Invisible Woman is just the stand? No, it's like the actual... You'll see a picture. I'll post the poll later. Adam Eve. I do not have an Adam Eve print. I don't think anyone's done Invincible yet. I don't know if it's as popular as the anime, or I only follow like anime creators. Alright. So Chun Li, I cleaned up all the sticky tacks. So we're gonna take our 200 or more for the memes, our 220 grit. Now I don't need this whole sheet because I could cover a lot. So what I like to do, and you can see I've used a little bit, but I found I get better control if we just tear off a little bit. So that way I can fold it and control it better. I'll go ahead and tear off the part that I've already used, so I don't make it worse. Should have a little trash can I can throw my stuff into. So our goal is to try to smooth everything out. So yeah, I heard season 3 just finished. They tweeted today actually that they are already working on season 4, that they have the voice acting already done. So yeah, you can see around the base. I'm gonna try to smooth out these holes, but then I might have to go in and dip little bits of resin to fill those out to make it completely flush. I've had trouble getting Amazon Prime to work. I thought you were talking about like primer, like painting models, and I was like, oh, I know some tricks to help you. But speaking of primer, sanding is going to help get primer to stick to these. better. That way when I go to paint it, it'll be much easier. I don't know if the camera's catching the dust coming off of it, but that's why I wear a mask, so I don't breathe that in. Gotta get voice acting work done before another strike. You know, if they strike again, I could see them going to AI. Plastic dust, great for the lungs. Yep, that's why I sound muffled, Di. I have a mask on. We get some sanding ASMR. That actually sounds pretty horrible. We won't ASMR that. What's that, Red? Resin is toxic? Yep. That's why I'm wearing a mask and I'm wearing gloves. I don't even want the dust to get on my skin if I can help it. And then I'm wearing sleeves to cover up all my offensive tattoos. No, I'm wearing sleeves because I see so many other VTubers that do hand cams. And it's like, I was like, you know, I have these sleeves from work, so might as well. Okay, so these little divots in the base where it came off the supports, like right here. There we go. My finger helped. And maybe don't want people to ID me from the art tats. Yeah. Maybe these holes that were in the base too were to help the resin drain out because this is a hollow piece. So we might cure resin in those holes, or I'll use Milli Putty. I have it over here. So we got some just Milliput. We can also use this to fill in gaps too. But this stuff takes hours to take effect, whereas the resin takes effect in minutes. So I don't know if I would show an exotic toy like cotton. What are you talking about? Oh, big raid. What's up, Cerulean and friends? Welcome, welcome. We're working on a Chun Li model tonight. What's up, UNFW? I hope you guys had a good stream. What were you playing today, Cerulean? Oh, actually, we should sand this. We can get all this. It'd be better to sand this down than fill it in. Final Fantasy 4 in the DS. Oh, how far did you get? Oh, like cotton. I'd probably be in danger of accidentally showing the NSFW prints that I have. But that would be in character for me. You had to start over, new emulator? Oh. So just basic skeletons. What's up, Bill Bones? How you doing? Yeah, art student. Art is one of those things that I feel like you're always the student. You're always learning and you're always perfecting. DS version is like 10 times harder. Yeah, and they did change up a lot of the fights. I forgot. Like the Golbez fight, I accidentally ruined for you. Standing without a mask. Why am I poisoned? Why am I toxic? Nope, no, we're not getting resin toxicity over here. Oh, you can see the buildup of the dust. Alright, maybe I'll use a... we won't go up. This is just for the base. Alright. Let's try spot curing some of these holes. This is a technique I'm still learning, but when it works right, the results look really good. So I don't mind sanding the bottom down to nothing, but like on the sides, if I try to sand all this down, it'll get warped, and I don't want that. DS version's like 10 harder noted. So I'm trying to remember. I reviewed my Lego stream when I made the time-lapse video, so I'm trying to be more cautious or conscious, aware of doing a over here and not showing you guys, but right here is like right in front of my face, so I get the best the best detail. So, all right, we'll take a tiny dip of resin on our toothpick. Pick a hole. Boop. All right, and we've booped it. I'll put this over here. And we take the UV light. And we just hold it here for like 30 seconds and let that cure. Oh my god, Windows, do not restart now. Really? Am I a night shower or a day shower? Morning shower? Yeah, I like to take mine in the morning. Alright, this is the worst time. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't run. Hang on a second. Night shower people have mold in their beds? Gross. Now, I've tried doing the night shower thing, but I have a lot of hair, and it gets horrible to manage in the morning if I shower at night. It's way easier to shower in the day and, you know, style it how I want and get it how I want for the day. Bam. So, unfortunately, I put a little bit too much in there, so it's kind of bumped out. So I need to... We'll come back and just sand it back down. I needed to use way less resin on that hole. But that's the process. So I've added it back in. Now, unfortunately, it looks like I have a bump. But a bump we can sand down. Holes you would have to sand down the entire surrounding piece to get it all to match. So we'll just... Actually, that looks really good. Just a little bit of elbow grease, so we're gonna just do that a couple more times. Did I buy all the time-use cement and hardeners? I have Milliput, which is an epoxy that comes with a hardener. Okay, so I just did like 4 holes at the same time. One bigger than the other, but... Sanding like dunk, please. Is the sanding really obnoxious? I really hope it isn't. I just need to do this for like 30 seconds. Showering before bed is the best. I don't know. Like I said, I just prefer it in the morning because it's easier to manage getting ready for the day. The bangles are black with white spikes. Yes. Maybe that needed to cure a little bit longer. I accidentally wiped a little bit away, but that's gonna work to my advantage because it's now I just accidentally made it flush. Now the parts have been cured fully, so I have a curing station, which is this like little turntable with UV light emitters. So these are already fully hardened, so adding a little bit extra isn't really going to do anything to it. You can over cure, but the 30 seconds from this flashlight isn't really going to damage anything. So you wouldn't want to do this without fully curing the parts. Hey, take it easy, Dave. Don't shower at all. The Aspen Gold solution. You can just shower once a week, right? You just shower for your day off. Okay, so there's like a little hole right here. Drop a tiny drop of resin in there. That's too big. Give me a smaller drop. This is pretty much how it's going to be tonight. So I'm going to work from the bottom up. But I hope we'll have a really spotless Chun Li afterwards, and then I can prime her, and then the next time you guys see her, she'll be all white and ready for paint. That'll be the plan. And I'll make sure I get a reference picture of the colors. So that way when we paint her, I'm not going like, is this supposed to be blue or white or yellow or what? That was me flicking the button. I didn't mean to. Alright, that should be good. Oh, yes. Has your white priming been going well? I bought some white primer. It's watery. So I found a trick for the white primer. I think a white-red color scheme would be better than classic. I'd be willing to try that because white and red is going to paint easier than blue and yellow. Because for whatever reason, yellow paint is just horrible. But yeah, white priming has been going well, Lux. I found I have to put the primer like under my arm for a couple minutes to help warm it up. And then I have to shake it. You have to shake it for the full 2 minutes. At least. But my Himeno, my Power, my Korin, I primed all of those in white and they all came out perfect. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and close off these drain holes. So we'll... Do we want to use Milliput or do I want to use resin for that? Sorry, I'm trying to dig out some of these holes. Let's try resin first. Nope, that's not going to work. It just went into the hole. I'm going to have to use Milliput on that. All right, we'll do that after. Let's get all the holes filled up. Dip, 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 dip. Beige is always such a hard color for me. I wear my prints. Just absorb beige for breakfast. My Jinx model took forever to do. I think it was Bulkamancer who was doing his prints in clay, and I liked the look of the clay color. So I just wanted to do something different than the standard space gray. And I thought the beige was nice since I'm going to be printing mostly, you know, anime and video game characters. Beige is a nice neutral color for like the skin tones and stuff. Alright, that didn't quite fill as... No, it kind of did. I should buy some of that resin. It looks super clean. The nice thing is, the Water Washable 2.0 is cheaper than the 1.0 Water Washable. So it was like a no-brainer for me. I was like, okay, I get a new color. It's cheaper. I'm doing this now. Filling in all the holes in a quick and dirty way. The drawback is it does take longer to print because the exposure times are higher. But it came off my build plate super easily, which I really liked because I struggled with my first few prints trying to get them off the build plate. But this stuff just pops off super nicely. But yeah, taking longer to cure just, you know, means all of the prints are going to take longer in general. Yeah, so if you wanted something faster, I would go away from the water washable. But it's what I'm familiar with, so it's what I'm going to stick to. She'll be all white out of context, sounds like I intend on whitewashing her. Nope, just priming her in white. White primer before we paint her. Wow, that looks super good. If I can get it to focus. I did it along the top edge here. Alright, well, I think just like a thin layer. And we just take the edge of the toothpick and we do this. Seems to be the right technique. I have my settings dialed in for my Anycubic resin. I actually just made up these new supports and they work well too. So all the models I've been working with lately have all been pre-supported by the artists. So I haven't had to deal with any of the support stuff in Voxel Dance, Tango, or what's the other one that everyone uses? Chitu Box. All I have to do is just slap the print onto the build plate and hit go. And it just comes out perfect every time. Oh, I need to do this side. That would be nice by making the models. Oh. No, I'm signed up on a bunch of artists' Patreon, so I'm just downloading all their models as they come out. I get like... I think I get like 6 models a month right now. So about one a week. Way more than I can print. Plus, everyone's got like welcome packages where they're like, hey, here's 10 prints, here's 20... Or not prints, here's, 10 models, 20 models. So I have a lot of stuff that we can print. Send them over. That's not fair to the artists. These are paid Patreons. Hey, what's up, Reggie? How are you doing? Okay, so there is a little dent in the base right there. Right there. I'm gonna see if I can't fill that out with... Actually, that might be a milliput application, not a resin application. Okay, I need to get the first bump down a little bit more. Send the artists? Definitely will. But yeah, I don't think it's fair to the artists to share their prints after paying for them if they are paid. Finally saw it all, stunned, annoyed, and disgusted. Bro, what's even more crazy is how today he didn't want to talk about any of it. Any of it. And he just like spent his whole pre-stream talking about, oh, I didn't want to get involved in drama. It's like, well, no. That's a lie, because if you were the mastermind this whole time, you wanted to get in drama to snake these people. I don't know. His chat was in full revolution. He probably banned a lot of people today. But yeah. I also saw on Twitter today that a lot of people not involved in the vortex were also commenting on it, so... again, he's going viral for all the wrong reasons because other people are talking about him in a context that he can't control. And these aren't people that are his normal haters. These are this is the general public hearing about it. The recent events have blown your mind. Yeah, I can't tell what's real or not. I think it's a cope for him to say that he was putting all lies. Are you failure with the King VTuber? I fell for your master plan when I raided you. Yeah. I can't fathom how he thought those logs would make him look good. Well, besides him leaking all the DMs thinking that would make him look good, I can't believe that he would say, here's everything, and then not publish folders 4 and 5. And then he had the whole, oh, I'm going to show you guys that this was my plan from the beginning was to screw with these guys. But you didn't get that. All you got was him going, hello, is this the host of Kino Casino? Did this cure enough? I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit more. Oh shoot, this is too close. Gonna ruin my resin and I can't use it for the project. If I won't watch LOL content, I'll watch Hassan Piker content. Bro, did you, at the risk of getting banned off of Twitch, did you see Hassan Piker's mods were telling... So on Twitch, you can submit an unban request. And then, so, you know, people get banned from Hassan's chat, and then they submit an unban request, and then apparently the mods can send messages back to you, and Hassan's mods are telling people to off themselves in the response. I'm like, how is this okay? What's up, Exodus? Speaking of Twitch streamers, the girl who accidentally revealed her Viewbot program got permabanned off of Twitch. But like, she put out this horrible apology where it was like, oh, I was researching Viewbots because I didn't think Viewbots were real. And it was like, lady, you had the program up with your name and your channel and how many views you wanted. Like, what do you mean you didn't know what Viewbots were? She'll be back. Yeah, we'll see what happens. If she's Dan Clancy's type, let's just say. How about how he said he was going to remove chips from the case and then just gave up? I'd missed that part. Johnny Somali is going to jail. Korean jail. Hassan and his group seem like hypocrites. They are. Hassan is doing a sponsored stream of Assassin's Creed Shadows. But no, Hassan's not going to jail. Not anytime soon, anyway. Destiny's more likely to go to jail. His lawsuit's ramping up. I really... Alright. Let's work on the base here. So, like, I don't need to sand the top piece or the bottom piece because those are going to get inserted. So that's going to fit in there like that. And then her chest is going to fit like that. And I'm just going to drop everything and break it. I had to unsubscribe from a YouTuber who's sponsored by BetterHelp. I can't believe BetterHelp is still running around like nothing happened. Clumsy. That's why I used the sticky tack to hold it all together. Assassin's Creed Shadows makes me actively angry. The more I think about it, yeah. Will, please, I know how brittle those resin prints are. So, two things that's really cool about resin printing. One, hey, what's up, Abby? How are you doing? One is they glue really easily. So if I do break a piece, I can glue it back together. Not a huge issue. But if I completely ruin a part, I'll just fire up the printer and print another one. I heard BetterHelp is bad, but I missed what happened. So this was a while ago. And I don't think the video is on Memology's channel anymore, but I voiceovered a video for him a long time ago. But like BetterHelp was like didn't have actual doctors and counselors on staff. And what's his name? The What's Up You Beautiful Bastards guy. He basically was he pyramid schemed Boogie. So he got Boogie a BetterHelp sponsorship. But like the sponsorship, everyone that Boogie sold would give like $1 or something back to that guy. Philip DeFranco, yes. So it just looked like a big multi-level marketing scheme for influencers to sign people up for mental health counseling online. But like they didn't have accredited counselors. I think they just ended up selling a whole bunch of people's information because as a HIPAA violation. But they were trying to put themselves as like a marketing company and not a telehealth company or something. Like there was all sorts of shady stuff that went down with that. And I'm paraphrasing because it's been like 6 or 7 years since the BetterHelp stuff broke. Spacey's still getting work for being found out. Oh, I would have thought Spacey would have retired and never done acting again. Like, who would work with him again? Is the material I'm handling bad for skin? It's bad for skin and it's bad to breathe, so I'm wearing a mask too. Alright, so we just need to inspect this piece and make sure the sides look okay, because we don't need the top and bottom. Thankfully, I think this piece printed up and down, so it doesn't... I need to sand a little bit. What's the material? So this is, it's just resin. A liquid resin. But you put it under a UV light and it hardens up. So what's in that cup is the same material that this stuff is printed out of. It's just been exposed to UV light. I'm handling a UV light. You don't want that on bare skin for too long? UV light's the same thing as sunlight, right? Hopefully I'm not causing myself to get skin cancer or something by getting little doses of UV flashlight. Do I pour it into a mold? Nope. It's a 3D printer. I should post a video on how it works. Unfortunately, yeah, I have a resin printer. I have a Saturn 3 Ultra by Elegoo, but it puts this build plate down into a vat of the resin, and there's a UV light that flashes and cures the layer, and it does this up and down, and each of these layers are 0.5 millimeter thin. So you can imagine the printer is doing this probably 400 times to make something this size, being a 0.5 millimeter thin. GSP announced he's having Ralph and Merch. Oh my god. It was more than just Ralph. Holy cow. Sunlight can give you cancer too. Yeah, but also in high doses as well. I don't think 30 seconds from a UV... This is a hobby flashlight. Like, I don't think this is... I didn't have any warnings when I bought it or on the packaging, so hopefully I'm not damaging my skin by using it. Hopefully the gloves protect it. But yeah, resin printers are basically magic. It's like, it's really cool because it's like real life alchemy for me. Because I have this vat of resin, and the magic from UV light creates pieces that I can put together and paint. It's really super cool. All right, so we're gonna sand up the stand a little bit here, because there's a spot there and a couple holes around the tip. I've tried taking... Can we autofocus? Hello? Oh, that made it worse. Hello? How many fingers am I holding up? Shoot. Oh, and then I move my hands away and then it focuses again. Wearing opaque gloves should fully protect me. Well, here's hoping. I do think I need to get thicker gloves because I have had some contact dermatitis from the resin, even while wearing these nitrile gloves, so... I'll probably look at thicker, more chemically resistant gloves. The only drawback to that is it's going to make my hands sweat more. Hey, what's up, mercenary? How are you doing? Yeah, apparently it's the collab of the century. It's real. Yeah. I just hope DSP comes at Ralph with the same energy he went at RTU with demanding to be sober on the stream. I have the Saturn 3 Ultra. The nice thing about the Ultra is it has a Wi-Fi connection, so I don't have to plug in a USB port to download the prints. I can just send it over the airwaves. It's super convenient. I highly recommend getting the UV attachment. Because the other thing I've seen is like the UV drives can corrupt the model, so when you plug it in, download it, sometimes they can corrupt the file, and then you print these horrible eldritch abominations and waste all your resin. As long as Ralph doesn't invite me to Florida. I don't even think Ralph can come into the United States, can he? I actually don't know my Ralph lore much anymore. I thought he fled to Mexico to avoid charges. Alright, so there's a couple more holes in the ridge here we're going to smooth out and we'll move on to the next piece. Yeah, he does have land in the States, but that doesn't mean he can come to the States without getting arrested. I thought he had a warrant out. Because I also remember, didn't he like beg the judge to come home to like visit his family without getting arrested? And the judge was like, no, we're not going to put a stay on your warrant. You come here, we're arresting you. I don't know. Ralph is another one of those creators where I used to watch him a while ago, and then it's just sad to see what he's become today. Rakata's another one of those guys. UV printers are work interesting. They convert the 3D model into thousands of ultrafine layers. Essentially thousands of cross-section photos. Exactly. Yeah, I could stream like what the models look like in the software, and I have a little like meter that I can drag up and down, and it's just slice, 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 slice. But what's really cool is each of those slices is is what gets shot out by the UV light to cure it to the model. It's a really cool process. But it's one of those things where it's like the technology has just gotten so cool that it's you know, basically magic. Rakata could have made bank off of localization drama. Yeah, he found a good niche with the voice acting stuff with the Vic Mignogna case, which I think is what really blew up his channel. Because that's when I first started watching him. You know, and then the Kyle Rittenhouse case and then the Johnny Depp case also blew up his channel. But all he needed to do was just like cover high-profile lawsuits and you know, criminal trials, because that's just like happening all the time. And you know, maybe every once in a while do a 40K thing or something. But no, we had to go even further beyond. You want to hang out as boys? Kind of sus. He invited me out for drinks. Who does that? I'm just glad that, like, we can finally pretend that he's not an ally anymore now that he's going to, you know, be like, I think this guy might be gay. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Like, bro, he was just... This camera. Brio, I need you to make up your mind. I feel like, Tony Stark talking to the robot that's like holding the torch for him. He's like, you are absolutely useless. He kind of screwed Vic by getting him a house lawyer for his defamation trial. He did a little bit. And then him and Ty Beard are just like laughing to the bank on their streams and stuff. They're like, oh, we'll get it. We blew the case. We'll get him next time. And it's like, yeah, you did blow the case because you almost had a slam dunk. You almost had a slam dunk for defamation, which is really hard to prove, and then completely butchered it. Quota? What's the quota? I don't know if you guys can see it. There's like a line going down the middle of the print. I see it plain as day. Localizers are pretty much people treating every anime like it's ghost stories, but yeah. Like, I understand. Like, here's what I'll defend localizers. When they took Unicorn Overlord, they localized it. Now, they didn't put in a whole bunch of, like, BS that it didn't need, but they made it have like a little bit more flowery, fantasy, medieval kind of style to the English, which was it present in the Japanese. It probably wouldn't translate between the English and Japanese very well, but I enjoyed them putting that kind of characteristic into the localization because it fits what I'm used to seeing with a high fantasy medieval style piece of media, whether it's a book or a movie or a video game. So I'll defend them in that case, but like Mercenary said, most of the times they just end up censoring stuff, and then you're just like, you know, completely destroying the artist's original idea. So this should fit in here pretty snugly, but it looks like I might need to sand a little bit more off to make it collapse in there. The go-to example is Dragon Maid, where they changed the context of a scene. Yeah. Wasn't there... There was a scene in one of the Fire Emblems where they had two of the assassin characters meet, and then they just had them go ... to each other, which was funny, but it wasn't the original thing. I think there's actually character development in the original Japanese of that scene, but no, we had to throw out actual character development for a joke. Baroka and Saizo. You know, if I knew there was one person in the world who would know the reference I was making, it was Mercenary. Oh, so what's up, Blazing Frost? How are you doing tonight? We're working on Chun Li a little bit. I do use Gorilla Glue. That is the super glue that I use. I'm just trying to get the pedestal to fit into the base. You can see a little gap there. Actually, if I push in... Oops. Oh, here we go. Yeah, if I turn it that way, there's no gaps. Alright. Set that aside for now. Stretch my back. Actually, I'm going to take my mask off and get some water, because wearing the stupid sleeves and the gloves are hot. Punch my mic again. Kazuki Takahashi was no fan of how 4Kids handled the localization of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Duel Monsters. It's kind of crazy. That poor Mike, it's a $13 mic. He's expendable. It's not the politics that bother me, because I would be angry if it was also right. Far-right political nonsense. No, it's just changing the original material is the problem. I understand in some cases stuff doesn't translate one for one, but you can still try. Abuse is fine if they're cheap. Yeah, you can buy 5 packs of this microphone. Mike, blink twice if you need help. He has no eyes. He's like a RimWorld prisoner. I've taken his arms and legs and eyes and organs. Alright, so here's where it's gonna get a little tricky. So we got a lot of holes on the bottom here that we need to fill in and sand down. But we got to be careful that we don't ruin any of the details. So we'll get our little bottle of resin, or wine glass of resin, and get back to it. I like my smooth and spread technique. This seems to be pretty quick, and it covers pretty well. So I'll just put little drops of resin in the holes and spread them across. RimWorld, you're welcome to the colony. You get your ID card. You're an organ donor. Is pre-checked and laminated over. That means you're expendable. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Cure that piece for a little bit. Yeah, I try not to get into the politics too much, guys, but I do kind of dislike how it seems that both sides right now seem to be pretty censor heavy. That's kind of unfortunate. Back to sanding. Reggie, I forgot that guy existed until you brought him up. In other news, I saw Redbird. That usually means good luck. That's nice. We are officially in spring as of today, according to my wall calendar. So, hopefully longer days, Mother Nature coming back, warmer days. Chun Li's in pieces. How will this affect the economy? What's up, Sojita? It's nice to see you. We'll put her back together when we're done painting her. But right now, I gotta fill in all her holes. Giggity. We've made so many jokes tonight. Hey, what's up, Usagi Jojo? By the way, how's Rocky? I didn't mind him asking about Rocky because I thought that was cute. I was thinking about the Dragon Maid dub where they said patriarchy in a negative connotation, which is seen as left-leaning. I'd also be upset they said God will strike you, heathen. It's really weird that they changed Dragon Maid of all anime. Oi. So that'd be cool to see what you're working on here. Working on Chun Li. Actually, she's upside down. See, I got her hair buns. We got her arms. It's just a bust, so it's only the chest up. But I figured a small project was good, a good starting point, so I'm not tackling something massive like the Fallon statue I'm printing. How do you feel about the recent leaks, Usagi? How much did I purchase my Saturn for? It was part of a Black Friday deal where I got the Saturn, the UV station, the filter, and the bath, all for like $500. It was one of the most bewildering and ill-advised things I had seen. Yeah, that was some crazy stuff yesterday and today too. Yeah, you're right, Reggie. She gets recognized for her thighs more than she does her bust. I'll try to fill in this hole in her bottom. Why my brain thought of the print as cookies? I can't unsee it now. Does the beige make her look like she's a cookie? I guess. Alright, there's a couple of holes in her boob I need to fill in here. Was the podcast crazy again? I just saw the whole... today's podcast was basically him going... no more drama. He said, like, no more drama, like, 6 times. It's like, I didn't want to get involved in drama. But, according to him, yesterday, this was all his plan all along. So you can't be the master king snake manipulator and then also try to claim that you don't want to do drama. So it was the wildest cope I'd ever seen. That definitely needs more time. It's still wet. My girlfriend watched that stream and said DSP belongs in the Arkham. He's definitely a 220. He's definitely my 220 sandpaper. He claims he's the king snake, but he's more like a leech. I thought it was really funny that people looked up facts about the king snake and they're like, king snakes use their disgusting stink to scare people off. And I was like, oh no. Why would you call yourself that? Alright. Let's sand her boob. Try to keep it round. He just didn't want to seem weak or gullible. Yeah, instead he just wanted to came across as an ultra asshole. Just like when he sniveled before Jaha to not beat him up all the way back in Connecticut. He was like, PPP, don't make fun of me. my wife might have cancer. And he's like, actually, that was all a lie. Oh, so you lied about Cat maybe having cancer to get out of, as like a get out of jail free card? He should have lied about himself having cancer. I don't know why he had to get his wife involved like that. And then has the audacity to say, she's not part of my content. Well, you use her as an excuse enough that she might as well be. She's been on the streams before. She's kind of part of it. He put King and Snake together and ran with it. Yeah, he probably didn't know anything about the King Snake. He prefers being seen as an asshole instead of being lonely. Yeah. I think PPP honestly wanted to try to do stuff with him. But like Phil confirmed that he was shooting down their ideas and saying like, yeah, I don't think they had the clout to make it happen. It's like, you gotta try. At some point you gotta try. You can't just be like, I need to come up with new ideas for my content. And then when someone says, hey, let's do a haunted house stream, you go, no. Hey, let's do a stream where we're at the beach in Florida. No. Hey, let's do, no. Like, he's just shooting stuff down before they even get to it. And trying to work with someone like that would be mentally draining. But I will say, as much as I dislike PPP, I do like his energy and his enthusiasm to trying ideas. I thought was really cool, and he brought up some interesting points, which I'm hoping to take as like good lessons into my streaming going forward. But one of the things he pointed out, and August the Duck I think said the same thing in his response video, is you can't just sit there playing a video game and like only commentate on what's happening on the screen. You really got to do other stuff. I mean, there are so many YouTube channels where that's exactly what people do, is they just sit, they boot up their PlayStation or their Xbox or their PC and play Marvel Rivals and just bitch and moan, you know, for 6 hours. And if that's the extent of your content, I'm like, you're not going to get anywhere. Man, there's like a little nub that I need to get. I mean, so many people are doing the React stuff. They're doing AIs reacting stuff too. So you can't even get away with the React content. I don't know why there's like a spot on her back right here. Hey, what's up, Lefty? Learn how to make meaningful content for the professionals. Neurosama's the best AI, yeah. For what it's worth, he's done enough making mediocre content that he does need personal growth big time. Yeah, his entire library is just mediocrity, like done over and over. And I think he might even at some point be afraid to, you know, grow or change. Or I will say, shoot, as I headbutt my mic, I will say upgrading his setup, as poorly as a job he's done with it, at least that was a change. Like something has happened versus what it used to be. Streaming has to be more than slapping the start streaming button. Yeah, there's I failed to do this, but I'm hoping these hand cam streams kind of bring it back. That I got some feedback a while ago that I should probably like fit in more just chatting streams. And my just chatting streams went just fine, but I had this mentality that like, oh, I'll fall behind on my playthroughs on Steam or whatever. And it's like, who cares? I think you guys might tune in and like want to see my reaction to something like, you know, like Devil May Cry 5, but like I'm not gonna get people being like, oh, time to tune in for, you know, Williams part 209 of Devil May Cry 5. You know, you gotta make better stuff. And I think this way, at least I can talk about more topics than trying to play a video game and all I can talk about is the video game, because that's what I'm focused on when I'm playing the video game. Not to say I'm not going away from gaming content. We got Yumiya coming out tomorrow. Tried to raid you last night, but was 8 minutes too late. I didn't stream last night. I streamed Tuesday. I think taking recommendations is great, but it's more important that you do things that you like. Well, I'm proud of myself for finally doing the hand cam thing. I know I'm not the original guy to do it. Yeah, I'm sorry to be like the actually. But I took parts that I had laying around for the streaming PC. I had like an extra sound mixer, extra microphone, extra camera. And I got the 3D printer together and I was like, you know, there's a way I can make this into content. And I think this stuff might be more interesting because I can have you guys vote on what we print and paint next. I don't think there's as many people doing 3D printing as there is people making, you know, playing video games. Phil said Ralph has not done anything bad. Ralph called his wife fat too, but we'll give him a pass, I guess. I know there's a lot of fun detractor stuff to come from it, but Phil's the guy who should never get any popularity. He hit the algorithm at the right time, but he just never learned to adapt as things changed and instead complained that the world grew around him and didn't cater to his needs. He's like the people that they build an entire city around him and they put all, you know, he got in there early and built his house, but then the city's like, hey, we need to put a highway here. And he's like, nope, not selling, not selling, not selling. And they build up all the city and infrastructure and everything around him and his property. And then he complains about the noise later. It's like, bro, you had a chance to move with the inevitable. You know, nothing stays the same, especially with technology. This stuff changes way too fast to just, you know, crap out 100 3-minute videos on YouTube and just hit the algorithm just because you've spammed so much content. I'm going to try to sand down these holes, but I think I'm going to have to do the resin trick on her sleeves. Did Phil really defend Ralph? He is. He's bringing Ralph on the stream now. Yeah, can't really sand down the holes, so what we're going to do is we're going to take some resin and we're going to spread it over the holes, like this. And I'm going to cure it. Hey, what's up, Culp? How are you doing? Yeah, people do crap out a bunch of stuff with AI. And there was a sentiment I saw on Twitter today that I kind of agreed with. Someone was just venting and she eventually deleted the post because it was just a vent post. But it's hard to try to make original content when you see stuff that's just like engagement bait or memes or recycled content or AI content. Just take off and get way more notoriety and exposure and views and money than working on a project yourself. You know, your own original script and content and things like that. He didn't bring him on the big announcement. Was he going to have a rotating cast? Ralph is first. I gotcha. So he is going to have trials. The amount of you laugh, you lose videos is depressing. Bro, the thing that gets me is the sheer number of AI comic book shorts on YouTube. I don't know how, but you can have just like this AI read a Wikipedia article about the Green Lantern. and it'll get 6 million views. And it just does stuff like that over and over again. I mean, I'm sure there's some interest to be like, huh, I never knew that about the Green Lantern or something. But then, like, anyone who does, like, actual comic book reviews or power leveling videos or whatever, it's probably just like, why bother when someone could just make this AI slop and outperform me? Like, before AI is, you had the people that were just like stealing content and putting like Subway Surfers under it, and they would get more views than the original video. And those guys were making bank on like TikTok and stuff. How do we know the views aren't botted? Very good point. I guess they could be botting the views. We did just see a view botter get banned on Twitch. I talked about that earlier. But I mean, like, even Sneeko got exposed for liking, like, buying likes on his Twitter posts and stuff when he had a Twitter. I don't know if he ever got unbanned again. But, like, everyone is just like buying engagement these days. Like, the dead internet theory is is alive and well. So many butt pics in YouTube comments. Bro, that's the other thing that YouTube's going crazy for, is the amount of just actual porn in YouTube ads is insane. Now, they crop it so you don't see any of the naughty bits. But, I mean, if you've been around, you know what's happening. But, like, with all the algorithms and AI that YouTube has, they can't detect that material getting uploaded and put forward on ads. Haven't seen those ads. So I haven't seen them myself because I have YouTube Red, so I don't see ads. But I've been seeing people complain about it on Twitter repeatedly for like all year. It's become a problem. Still waiting for someone to capitalize on the fact that Wally West once worked as an agent for the IRS. Well, I did see a short that covered Joker being afraid to go against the IRS, but that was a pretty good joke in the Batman cartoon. Some of the acceptable AI-generated content is movie trailers re-envisioned, or they're from a different time period. I guess it's borderline acceptable. But, oh, have you seen the new engagement bait on Twitter, though, where they'll post like a clip from a movie? And all of these accounts do the same thing. They just say underrated. It's the clip of the movie, and it's got a line through it, probably to avoid copyright. But these guys never say what movie or TV show it is. But then if you look at the replies, you either get people asking what show is this, or people telling them what show it is, or you get the botted replies, which are just like smiley face, heart, heart, up, down, left, right, left, right. It's crazy. You get these Derek tier people in the comment section. Yep, they show clips, but they don't tell you what the show is. That way they can farm engagement from the people who either ask what is the show, or they get engagement from the people saying this is the show. Sorry, I'm trying to find a balance between seeing what I'm doing and making sure you guys can see what I'm doing. You've seen AI artwork accounts though? Yeah, that's the other sad thing. Also, sadly, that AI has become so prevalent and so good that now like real artists get accused of being AI. Anything to not get a job, yeah. There's a hentai stream on the YouTube home screen. That's crazy. They did show that tweet of the Asian girl streamer, but like I think it was Dexerto that was publishing the article that was like, hey, this is a streamer that doesn't exist. It was just like way too realistic. Like I couldn't tell she was AI looking at it. Uh-oh. Held a message for smart detection. What did Gondola say in Twitch chat? Buy expensive viewers only at onlygains.com. .cam. What's up, Gondola? How are you doing? Alright, trying to use the light to see if I can find any more holes that I need to spot cure. I think we're looking pretty good on the chest. I have mixed thoughts about AI. I think it's fun, but for something will have to be done about the economics that come with it. So I think there is an advantage to someone who doesn't have a skill but has an idea for a project. All right, I'm just gonna give her a light sanding to help smooth the layer lines out, so that way the primer fits to her better. So I'll just go over here kind of gently. So like on one hand, I like the idea that someone who has no skill but an idea could put together a concept and use AI to like fill in the gaps of his knowledge base that he doesn't have. But I also don't like it being trained off of, you know, real people without their consent. That was like I think the biggest violation was, oh yeah, hey, we trained our stable diffusion off of all these artists, and these artists were like, we weren't contacted if this was okay. Just touch the chemicals with your hands. So that's a good way to get eczema, I found out. So I try really hard not to let the chemicals touch my skin. AI automation and robots will take away so many jobs that wonder how most of the world's population will survive. Not to get too political, but my experience with AI and automation has made me realize that we probably need to go to like a universal basic income or something. Or we need to develop like a new industry that hasn't been invented yet that people can work in that can't be automated. But, you know, humans are pretty good at adapting. But I definitely think there should be a universal basic income. Seen quite a few vids of artists trying to pass off AI generated content as legit. Yeah, I've seen the fake time-lapse videos. That stuff is crazy. What's up, Nurgle? Watched finale for season 2 of Severance. Man, it was good. What's Severance about? I haven't heard of it. Well, I have heard of it, but I don't know what it's about. I've heard the show. I can't handle this type of talk. I'll drop out. Oh, I'm getting political, and I shouldn't. Can't talk much without spoiling. Oh, okay. Alright, I think I'm gonna go over with 400 grit on Chun Li here. Try to smooth her out a little bit more. William, the politics stream coming soon? Yeah, I'll do my politics stream after the election and then cancel it before the inauguration. Perfect time to make me a mod. I need to put myself in check more. Best way to describe Severance is work-life balance. Okay. I don't mind black pill talk. As long as you guys don't go, you know what? I don't agree with you 100%. I hate you now. But the AI and automation does present some challenges that I agree with Usagi Jojo that we're going to have to overcome eventually. But I'm sure we will. Is Severance like a horror show or something? If someone gets worked up over a disagreement in politics, it's on them. Yeah, but it's also my fault. I need to run my chat and stick to the rules when I say no politics, and not let us drift too far into that category. As long as you are Hassan or Destiny or Ralph. So a sex pest, a sex pest, or a sex pest. Got it. Maybe I shouldn't even be saying stuff like that. I already hate you for pineapple pizza and morning shower. I can't hate you more. Man, speaking of pineapple and pizza. Just say Cell Saga like LTG. Wait, no, I don't get that. I love the duality of chat. Oh, wait, you do like pineapple on pizza? What's wrong with pineapple on pizza? I was gonna say, what goes well with pineapple on pizza is Spam as a Hawaiian pizza, and I had Spam for dinner tonight, and it was delicious. Trying to get ahead of the whole, what did you have for dinner? I already tweeted it out. Rewind the stream. We're just admitting to war crimes now. Yep, I guess so. It's his way of calling people incels. Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny, though. How people get around stuff. You can eat Spam, that's the craziest part. Yeah, none of my dietary stuff says I can't eat, I did the lip smack, I'm sorry. That I can't eat pork. And I think Spam is pork. I can't eat red meat, and with how expensive chicken is, I'm probably gonna have to find alternative proteins. The director of Severance is Ben Stiller? Oh, okay. Hollow out a pineapple filled with cheese and sauce, bam, a pine zone. That's gross. Probably because I can't do cheese and pizza sauce. The best pizza topping is bacon, second best is just ham. And not a pineapple enjoyer? God will, your life sucks? Oh, my life's pretty decent. I mean, the dietary stuff sucks, sure, but it's not the end of the world. I don't go hungry. But yeah, I can't eat pizza anymore. Well, I can't eat what you would call pizza. Alright, so this is Thousand Grit. We'll finish Chun Li off with a little bit of this. So I could do, I can't even do pizza sauce, so I can do, but I was like, I can't even do white sauce because it's, white sauce is made with cream. So I was like, wait, what kind of sauce can I eat? And I was like, oh yeah, I just put olive oil and garlic as my sauce. Alright, tear a little square of 1000 grit, and we'll really polish. I'm here for fun, not a long time. Well, my problem is I could eat the fun stuff. It's dealing with the aftermath, which isn't fun. So if I do that, then I'm basically just creating a problem for future Will. Can relate on diet. Personally, on a very low sugar diet. So far, had some good positive effects. So I learned... Actually, no, I probably shouldn't get into doctor stuff. Never mind. I was going to say, part of the reason why I haven't been able to lose weight in the last year is something due to my health hiatus that I took. But I realize I don't want to get into the details of that, because I don't know all the details yet, but I also don't want to bum you guys out with health stuff. Speaking of getting older, I hate getting into new hobbies. I don't mind getting into new hobbies. I think it's fun to get into new hobbies. Meet new people that way. Can be expensive, though, depending on the hobby. Just don't try getting into Pokemon cards right now. This stuff's getting scalped all over the place. Technically, you can eat almost anything. It's just a lot of things you can only eat once. That's a good way to put it. Severance is really good, and they have Season 3 already announced. Nice. We have to wait one more year to get Freerun Season 2. That's what I'm waiting on. I need Freerun Season 2, and I need Dan to Dance Season 2. If you gave me a genie with 3 wishes, I would probably ask for Chainsaw Man Season 2, Dan to Dance Season 2, and Freerun Season 2. You eat pizza like my roommate's mom. It's actually solid when you do it right. Are you talking about the olive oil and garlic? So yeah, like a pizza for me right now would be the dough, olive oil and garlic. I put fake cheese on top, vegan cheese, and I could do like bacon or something. Yeah, 1000 grit was the right idea. So I don't think the camera shows the layer lines on the 3D printer, but you can sometimes see, you can kind of see it. If it focuses just right, you can almost see each of the individual 0.5 millimeter thick lines for each of the layers. So when I come over this with the 1000 grit, we're really we're blending down the layer lines and really making it one smooth piece. Yeah, it's kind of like making garlic bread. Yeah, it is like making garlic bread. Big doughy garlic bread. The cliffhanger got me trying to pirate the manga. I'm probably just gonna buy the manga, but yeah, the cliffhanger came out of nowhere. Like, Jill and I left Dan to Dan going like, wait, hang on a second, there's not another episode? They can't end the season. It didn't feel like a season finale. It just felt like any other episode, you know? It's the issue of doing it and appreciating it. It's the fact that I'm going to be sucked into it and thinking it's a rabbit hole. Oh, I see. Spending more money. I need to get this. I need to get this. That's what 3D printing's kind of been for me. I also really like this song. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Because I was already looking at upgrades for my resin vat and my build plate, even though those are kind of expensive and I don't need it. It was just like, oh man, it'd be really cool to have this. Too many series I know didn't get a 2nd or 3rd season, not even bothered. Yeah. I guess it's one of those like poor outcomes. Not poor outcomes. Like when you wish a curse on someone, like, I hope your favorite show doesn't get a 2nd season. Those anime are teasers for the manga. That's what Chainsaw Man felt like to me. I finally bought the manga and I was so glad I did, because part 1 felt really good and the ending, and I'm really liking part 2. Another show that I really like and I was watching with the wife was Kaiju number 8. Kind of recommend that one. Only manga I ever read were Berserk and JoJo. Both are really good. I never read JoJo, but I know JoJo is good. Berserk is fantastic. There's some series that finish with a different ending than the source content due to the series still going before the anime had enough to craft out the rest. I think that's what happened with the original Full Metal Alchemist before they did Brotherhood, right? Was the anime got ahead of the manga, so they kind of had to flub the rest. I still want Clamp to finish X 1999. Man, that's a blast from the past. Hang on, didn't Evangelion? Didn't the manga and the anime for those two, weren't those kind of different as well? Oh, who knows? Maybe knowing Anno, those are all canon. All universes are connected. What a horrible ending to a great concept. Moving my mic again. I keep freaking headbutting it. LSB? Who's that? I'm just frustrated at my setup because I want my microphone close to my mouth so it sounds good, but then I keep leaning my head forward and smacking it. Alright. That's I think we'll call the chest done. Trying to see which way this fits. I think it fits better that way. The manga for Kaiju number 8 gets better. Oh, that's good. I already like what I've read and watched so far. It's a pretty good show. Can I just say what we're all thinking? Multiverses suck and ruin storytelling? Yep, that's how I feel. Let's work on the head next, because that was a part I specifically wanted to get to. You know, I didn't think this would take me this long. I thought I'd be done in like 2 hours and be like, oh guys, what else do we want to do? What else do you want to talk about? But I'm glad I took my time. Alright, so unfortunately she collected some dust because she was sitting underneath. Straw came off my thingy. Sucks. Don't let the wife find them. Oh, she's seen all my 3D printing. She's even seen the NSFW stuff. She's not like Kat, where I can't have fun things. How much you have to donate to reveal your cat? I can show the whole menagerie that doesn't exist. Alright. So we'll try to get her jawline smoothed up. Well, you guys can see me working, but I don't think you can see the part. Get a wife like Jill, or you can have fun with her and your rice statue. Yeah, she never shot down any of the statues that I bought or printed. It was just always a matter of where are we gonna put it. I was like, you know what? If we ever have guests and you're worried about it, I'll put them up somewhere. Can we focus? Hello? At least my camera doesn't freeze on me. It just doesn't know what to focus on. There we go. Anyone know Pippi Longstocking? Pretty famous Swedish children's book. I am not familiar with that, no. Camera got your vision in the morning. Camera got me without my glasses. Sorry, I was closely inspecting how to get this smoothed out. I think I'm gonna have to use some resin to fill in these holes. Studio Ghibli's doing an adaptation of Pippi Longstocking. Oh, that's cool. Hey, what's up, dude? How are you doing? Yeah, the camera's on. The camera's on my hands this time. Hope you're doing well. Get the UV light, cure that resin up. If I wasn't lazy, I'd make a meme of Jill in bed with you and your life-size statue of Dimitri. Yeah, she is that meme. It's like, yep, me here with my husband and his life-size Dimitri plushie. I do not have a Dimitri body pillow, no. Think back to when someone played Three Houses and didn't know how the rewind worked. Oh, when he, oh, what was her name in the Golden Deer route? Not Julia. But how we killed her like 100 times because we didn't know how the reset mechanic worked? Judith. It was a J name. I was so close. Dimitri mousepad. No, I showed you guys him before. Hang on, he's right up here. I got a pop-up parade Dimitri. While we're doing show and tell. Oh, he's a little dusty, but... Look at this gut statue. Camera doesn't have enough height where I can show the whole thing off. He's been sitting up there a while. I just pulled off a whole layer of dust. Hopefully I didn't get that in my resin. Griffin! I need to have Hi-Yo playing in the background when I show him off. If we're doing this Chun Li, imagine recreating Eva Moment 37. I unfortunately don't have a Ken model that I could do that with, but that would be hilarious. The full size of this bust, so I have a bust and I have a full model. The full model is her doing a kick. So if I had Ken doing the block, we could recreate Eva Moment 37. Try to see if I have anything else cool to show off. I have this, I got this one in Anime Houston. I don't drink out of it. It's too nice. It just sits on my display shelf. Which is conveniently right above where I'm working. I'm gonna head out. I'll leave this on while I go prepare for bed. Hey, have a great night, Merlin. I need a modern adaptation of Berserk. It's so good. It's almost criminal. It hasn't had a full series. Yeah, unfortunately, the 2016 3D show didn't turn out very good. I should do a show and tell stream where I could show off all the cool stuff I have. I got also sitting next to me. I have a Project Melody plushie. Yeah, the 2016 show was super bad because you had a guy, the director, had only ever done like pretty girl, magical girl, slice of life kind of anime. And then it's like, oh, let me take this beloved horror, adventure, gritty, dark anime. I'll direct that, sure, no problem. Oh, by the way, I've never used 3D before, but let's do Berserk in 3D. But I'm not quite sure I can do 3D, so let's do 2D at the same time and try to blend the two together. The music was really good, yeah. I agree, but the rest of the show was not put together well. Huge disappointment. Okay, I cured her, so now I just need to sand where I put more resin. Another thing cool in Berserk was the armor transformation. They did do the Berserk armor justice. But the animation, like you have 3D and you make like Rooster Teeth Ruby stuff look more professional than a full-size anime studio doing Berserk. On some of the combat. So bad. Can't stand anime style 3D. To me, the low frame rate 3D always looks off. I will say Kengan Ashura did 3D very well. It didn't look stiff, it didn't look low frame rates, and it was also very nice because it was a martial arts show. Hey, what's up, K-Dun? And so, like, they used the 3D environment really well to showcase how the fighters fight and, like, everything that was going on. So you can capture everything happening in a fight, like the highs and the lows and everything going on around. They did a really good job of not making that look static or looking flat. And I think the 3D really helped enhance and emphasize some of the techniques of the fighters. I really like Kengan Ashura. Even though it has some anime tropes that I'm not a fan of, I did really like it. If only the Golden Arc Age movies got to continue. I think that's the same thing that Exodus just said. Yeah, if they just did the Golden Arc movies as the anime, everyone would be pretty happy. Those OVAs were pretty good. Oh, the other thing that was nice in Kengan Ashura with the 3D was like characters who like used a whip or used their hair or other weird, like it had a great way of showing the 3D space so you could see like the range of the fighters, so things didn't like attacks didn't come out of nowhere, because like you could as the viewer and the audience see stuff coming. All right, her hair has a lot of little bits in them. This is gonna take the most work. Hey, Lefty the Hefty is now followed on Twitch. Thank you so much. Welcome to the workshop. Appreciate you spreading the love on both sites. Welcome back, Shaq. You and Karma had some great games. That's good. You're platinum now, though. You're the carry of the group. Did you solo as play Magneto only to get all the way to platinum? Oh, almost plat. Gotcha. Oh, you're right. Attack on Titan did have some good 3D stuff. I forget about that. I need to finish the final season part 2. That show went a whole different route I was not expecting. But all the explanations are pretty good for everything. At least so far. I know the ending, I think some people complained about, so maybe I'll get to the ending and be like, what the hell? You know, I never watched Knights of Sidonia on Netflix, but wasn't that an anime that was purely in 3D? I heard that one was okay, at least. It was good in my opinion? Okay. I need to check it out then. I saw an anime music video that used it, and I thought it was really cool looking, but I never followed up and watched it. Nope, we're not restarting the PC. You can keep waiting. I'm just edging my computer on this update. The ending of the comic was trash, but I hated Eren and I didn't have that much connection to the show. Oh, dang. I guess Eren does make himself kind of a villain, though, by the end. They had some really good moments in that show, though, and really good... I think almost every character had some good moments. Eren's polarizing, but that's why I like him. Yeah. I did like him infiltrating the country and pretending to be a wounded soldier, hanging out at the hospital and having that kid run all the notes for him, only to run across Reiner again. And Reiner's like, oh no, oh god, it's Eren. What is he doing here in the basement underneath where they're having the big parade going on, or show or whatever. That was a really good scene. I love that scene. Declaration of War was such a banger episode. Yeah. I really like Reiner as a character. Once we saw everything from the other nation's point of view. Spoilers? Oh shoot, I didn't even think about spoilers. It really helped me to humanize the other side, which was pretty nice, and which I think was also necessary once you see what Eren does eventually. So. Okay, so I had some plastic flash that was still stuck inside her head here, which is where the hair bun connects, so I had to scrape all that out. At the top of her head, there's some... she has some little dents that we're going to have to clean up if the camera would focus on it, but it's not. But all in all, I got her chin looking pretty good. Sorry, I actually need to have this up in my face so I can see it better. I need to scrape just a little bit with the back of my knife. Sorry, I wish I could have shown you guys this step, but I really need to see what I'm doing. Okay. Chun Li's chin, yeah. As soon as I realized it was war, I picked a side and rooted for them to win. Oh, Marley, was that the name of the other nation? It's been a while. I really need to revisit it and finish it. Yeah, Marley. Ah, my brain still works. Kind of put too much in just now. I need to scrape it out. Alright, that's not too bad. Fixing her dents. The Marleyans, yep. That sit a little bit longer. I think being able to put in too much is a good problem. Too much isn't a problem because I can always sand it down. It's just annoying. And if it's not cured, then I can wipe it out. It's not a big deal. It's headphone hair. I need that picture of Tim the Tatman where he has the divot. It's no longer a dent, but a trench. Him and Tyler won. Being a streamer that's bald. There's too many good memes. Alright, we just need to sand her hair a little bit. Cure that a little bit more. Is that? Okay. So I'm gonna try using like a fold of the sandpaper and use this little edge to like sand. So like all these ridges are like the different strands of hair, and I just really need to try to smooth those out a little bit. In between each groove. Hair is one of the weirdest things with these 3D models. When I did Power's hair, there were so many like little snags and layers and stuff I needed to get out to try to get it all seamless. Like on the back of her head, I think she printed like this. So that's why there's support holes on the chin and the back of the head, but I need to try to smooth it all out before we move on. Really need to get to the arms. Her hair buns, I think, are okay, except for the one crack that I showed, but on her bracelets, I don't know if you can see that. I really need to fill these in. They got chunks taken out of them when they came off the supports, unfortunately. Oh, the other thing I just realized, I might be, I might have to find a new YouTube video. This one might be running out of music soon. Hopefully it goes to, we find another copyright-free one that I can play. That blew my mind about the guy when he was doing his Lego streams and refused to put any music on. Like, there are tons of copyright-free compilations on YouTube. And you can go and find and play to help fill in some of the dead air. Right, so there's like a snag right here. I need to sand down. Oh, that came out pretty good. $150 to get music. He needs that 50 cents in ad revenue. No, it's copyright free, so you don't even like, you don't have to share monetization. He'd still get 100% of the ad revenue. But seriously, is he getting much? He can't be getting that much ad revenue on the re-uploads. He might get ad revenue on the original streams if he didn't take them down to chop them up. If he just left the stream VODs on his channels, he might get more ad revenue that way. Good luck trying to explain that to him. Yeah. Well, he'll tell you, oh, it used to be this way or something, or I have to do it this way because of something. And it's like, well, no, that's not how it works anymore. What's even funnier, too, is, not to gloat too much, but I should be allowed to gloat a little. I have a YouTube partner manager. And, you know, I'm only a 2,000 sub channel. He's a 200,000 sub channel. Doesn't have a partner manager. Hey, Cord, how are you doing? I saw some of your tweets, man. I hope things are going okay for you over there. Thank you for the 20,000 IDR. I know that's Indonesian. I don't know what your currency is called, but I really appreciate it so much. Seeing that pretty mold is a pleasure to my eyes. Like the, it's Chun Li from Street Fighter. That's what it's working on. It's probably only $1.50. You know what? I appreciate that so much, dude. I'm not gonna lean in and try to do the conversion rate and tell you. I know it's pretty. Well, she's gonna be even prettier when we finish sanding her, and then I prime her, and then when we, hopefully the next time I show you guys, we'll actually be painting her. So I'm trying to get her hair finished, and then we can work on her arms, and then the hair buns, and then we'll be done. And I haven't been in a rush, and it's been nice. We've been covering a lot of details. Actually, I'm probably just going to do the resin trick on the rest of her hair here. Not sure if it's stress or the weather. Yeah, hard to say there, because that would be really stressful. You just need to... Hopefully you can just get back to Toa posting soon. I have prints. I have models I could print, like Ina and Gura. The Gura one, I'm a little hesitant to print. The Ina one, though, is very foot focused, so for those of you who like feet, maybe you like to see the Ina one. Yeah, I just subscribe to these artists on Patreon, and they drop about every week. I get a new model in my inbox that I can print. So I have so many models, but I can't keep up with all of them, and I'd run out of resin so fast trying to print them all. So get to pick and choose. Ina would be cool to print because of all the tentacles and stuff, but man, her coloration, I don't think I have the technique to do all the symbols on the, or the coloring on her tentacles and stuff. That would be crazy. We're talking about the same guy who refused to Google assembly instructions for his mic and broke it. Yeah. What's your take on the DM leaks? I don't. You could rewind the stream if you want, because we did talk about him earlier, but I don't know how he thinks that he comes across as the mastermind in that reveal. And I think it's pretty despicable what he did to lie about his parents' health, his wife's health, and his cat or his pet's health. To get out of just streaming, like, just say no. Like, why do you need to have an excuse? Like, it's the internet. But, oh, and the wild one, and this was my take last night before I went to bed. So we can show DMs about our mom's health, our wife's health, our pet's health, but we can't show our phone screen to prove that we aren't down from the rafters. Like, it is such a ridiculous situation. And then for today, for him to be like, oh, guys, I didn't want to be involved in drama. Well, how can you say you didn't want to be involved in drama when you were the one who initiated this plan allegedly 8 months ago? Oh yeah, redacted bank statements too would be another one to prove that bank leaks aren't his. Yeah, just a crazy situation all around. That's the head, I think. Whoops. Actually, we'll probably give her a little bit of 400 so that way she's nice and smooth. Try to take down the layer lines from the 3D printer. I want to get back to my usual TOA posting. I hope that for you. Yeah, I think he wanted... You're right, Lefty, because Cerulean pointed that out too, that he wanted to do more with the poker chip briefcase and then just completely forgot about it after RTU was like, nah, I don't feel like playing your game, Phil. I was re-listening to that part on Tevin's reaction, and it was crazy how Phil was like, I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to spring a surprise guest on you. Like, he laid out these very reasonable ground rules for having RTU on, that what RTU could expect from the stream, and then immediately went back on them, was calling RTU a buffoon and all this other crap. Was the RTU thing that bad? To summarize it, he made RTU look like the smartest guy in the room. Just using the edge of a folded piece of 400 sandpaper to get all the grooves between the hair. I was noticing while I was filling in the holes that the layer lines are kind of visible in the hair, so hopefully all this sanding makes the primer stick to her nice and evenly, and then painting her will go like a breeze. He spent too long trying to talk about mics. No, the point of the mic thing was nice because he showed that Phil just does not care about, like, everything is superficial, and he doesn't care to research deeper or learn on his own. It's just throw it all together, it looks good enough, and press play. And that, like, Phil rejects advice when it's given to him. Like, people had told him how to use his mic and he's using his mic incorrectly. Like, I came away from it going like, wow, RTU should do a stream on audio hardware and setting up microphones, because I think there are a lot of streamers who could probably benefit from that stuff. I mean, I'm always constantly paranoid about my audio on the streams. You know, so if I could learn anything, you know, and RTU made it sound like he knew his stuff. I don't think he spent too long on it. Alright, yeah. Little spot on the chin. Little spot on her lip. If you remember, the back here was all lumpy from the supports, so. And then the parts on the jaw that I showed you guys have smoothed all that out. All right, time to do the arms. Yeah, these look pretty gnarly on the bracelets. I don't know if you guys can see. And there's a huge dent missing there. The underarm where all the supports are, you can see all the holes there. So that's what we're gonna work on. And put it into good words, but I'm too dumb to remember his genius. Oh. Wonder if they got a jury one? I can look at the catalog and see. I get a discount on prints that they've previously made before I joined their Patreon, so we could look at jury. I know we're getting a Ryoko Matoi in April from one of the artists that I follow. I'm pretty excited for that one. That's the girl from Kill la Kill. Cammy? I'll look if there's a Cammy. You're not the first one to ask about Cammy tonight, Rain, so I think I'll take a look and see if there's a Cammy. I do know they just dropped an Invisible Woman. One of the artists I follow dropped an Invisible Woman. I got a Tifa one. Hey, what's up, Leo Kira? And the Tifa one looks really cool. She's doing like an uppercut, and they've got like special effect lines coming around her with it. Yeah, the Tifa one I think looks pretty nice. But I'll look and see what they got, and I'll put it on the channel later as a poll of the next one that we do after we finish Chun Li and Korin. Those are the two big projects I need to do. And then while I'm working on printing the next model, we can work on finishing Power from Chainsaw Man and Dan. What about Casca? I don't know if there's a Casca. I know there's... I don't know about Guts. There is a Blythe from Elden Ring, and that's one I want to print just for myself. I think it would be cool if I had Blythe next to Guts on my shelf. But yeah, Casca would be cool. She deserves more love. Playing Path of Exile? Are you playing the new Path of Exile or old Path of Exile? Yeah, I think either one would be sweet. They also have a Needle Knight Lita from Elden Ring. I didn't expect her to get a model done. Her model looks really cool. It's just she's not a character that I would have picked from Elden Ring. Sorry, fumbled there. I would have liked a Melania, but the artists I follow haven't done a Melania yet. Man, she's got all sorts of marks on her arm there. We'll have to fill those in. Old Path of Exile PO2 is still in early access. Gotcha. So we just spread some resin into her holes. As well as when Phil did that massive Linus chat saying to kick RT out of the call. RT looked at the chat and immediately shot back with no one is saying that. Yeah. I went to print Blythe. Furry confirmed. Dude, he's Guts just in Elden Ring. The only way that they could have made him more of a husbando, like if they wanted to get me to like Blythe more, is if they had Chris Hackney voice him, but they didn't. But that does remind me, I haven't seen an Armored Core model come across any of the sites I've been looking for models on. I think it'd be really cool to print an Armored Core. Or is Gunpla doing Armored Core kits yet? Because I think that would be really sick. Wow, it's crazy how just that little bit of resin and a little bit of UV light and all those holes that were on the back of her arm are completely gone. You can kind of see where they used to be, but I mean, it's totally smooth versus what it used to be. And I don't need to go too hard on this because her arm's is gonna go into the sleeve and part of it's gonna be covered up. I think there's a Rusty kit you can buy. Oh, good enough for me. I like Rusty because he was voiced by Chris Hackney. That was why I made the distinction. All right, let's sand a little bit off her hands. What's up, Gondo? You still working on your paperwork there? I saw you mention it earlier, and I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge it. I think I was on a different topic. This side of the bracelet has all sorts of divots on it. I think it printed like this. And the supports came down from here. So I'm going to fill all those in. Finishing up references and taking a break. Nice. Sorry, my hand's kind of covering up the work here. With a little bit of UV light. I think he was deliberately clowning and would let him and take the spotlight. If that's true, then that's a really master troll. I didn't think about that. Let's see if we can smooth the bracelet out a little bit. This is an oddly shaped piece for me to hold and try to show the camera because it's kind of thin. So, yeah, my fingers are just going to block all the work. If I try it like this. Well, now I can't see what I'm doing. I have to be able to see what I'm doing and show it to you guys. Actually, that looks pretty good. I don't know if you guys saw the divots before on the bracelet. I think I missed one. Oh, we did pretty good. Well, at least on the top. Now I need to do the sides. So start on one half and then work on the other half. Sorry, I am stuck between trying to show you guys and being able to see what I'm doing. And I gotta remember my webcam is upside down when it's pointing down like this. Top is towards me, bottom's away. I hope you guys like these kinds of streams. This is kind of fun. This is a project that I need to do anyways, but I can share with you guys the process and chat with you the whole time. I think other people will do streams like they're when they're editing and recording. Well, maybe not recording, but when they're editing stuff. Me likey, I'm liking it. Nice. Appreciate the feedback. I was talking with my brother about ideas for the stream, and what I'd like to do is if I could have a remote camera set up on the printer, show you guys the printing at the same time, because that's kind of cool. It's a nice chill stream. Man, it sucks that the word chill has been completely ruined. I seem more relaxed. I guess I'm too tense when I play video games, maybe. Reggie hasn't heard me play Marvel Rivals yet. If the word chill wasn't contaminated with gout, I'd call this chill. You know what's another word that's been absolutely ruined? Is robust. I've been playing Heroes Hour as kind of like just like a filler game lately. Hello, can we focus? There we go. And a trait some characters will have in that game to indicate that they are resistant to knockback is they will be described as robust. And I'm like, no. It doesn't mean anything anymore. Yeah, they have like robust and sturdy to represent like tanky characters. And it was just like, oh no. Sturdy's fine. It was robust mainly was the one that was completely ruined. Tangy. Yeah, if you ever did like a bingo of a DSP tries it, is tangy could be on the free space. It's got unique. That's the only requirement to making my favorite build. Hell yeah. I didn't play a lot of Path of Exile 1, but I played enough. And I remember when I got my first Tabula Rasa, I was like, oh, I got something good. I was so happy when I found a Tabula Rasa. Because up until that point, I hadn't found like any good uniques. I was going to say meaningful, but that's because I saw the word in chat. And then it was like Tabula Rasa. Like, you know what? That's a pretty good one because I see that one all over the place. And it was one of those, hey, this is a good unique to find early to carry you to the late game. Seeing that the entire thing going in Assassin's Creed Shadows and Uichi sure has been a dumpster fire that grew into an oil field fire. I can't believe that they were announcing over 1 million players when the Steam charts were showing only like 30,000 people logged in at the time. Like, if they said like 1 million in sales, maybe I would believe that more than like 1 million concurrent players on a single player game. That had the there's a Japanese politician that made an address that said something like, we must resist this type of propaganda about our culture. It was wild how much they pissed off the Japanese people with a game that should have been a slam dunk and easy to make and print money with. Steam chart showed a 41,000 peak. Yeah, so you're telling me that there was another 960,000 players on console? Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna press X to doubt on that one. Why were the Japanese mad? I didn't watch the full address, but there is a tweet where it has subtitles on it. But also, how are you doing, FIFA Fona? Basically, long story short is there's a lot of things that you can do that are basically disrespectful to Japanese history in that. Like, there's shrines that you can just... Shrines and temples that you can just roll up on and chop them up, burn them down, desecrate them, ruin them, all sorts of, like, you know, vandalism behavior. Apparently, I don't know if this was addressed in the politician's statement, but apparently you can have sex with the emperor's daughter, who went on to, like, I don't know, there's just all sorts of... All the shrines in popular areas are still owned by the families that made them. Ubisoft didn't ask for permission to use them. Oh, okay, that's interesting too. Steam is estimated 20% of the total market, so for being generous, they sold 500,000 copies, not even close to making money. If they only sold 500,000 copies, then how can they claim that there's 1 million players? I saw people streaming Ghost of Tsushima saying it was Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's disingenuous as hell. Having sex with the princess is a massive insult to the Imperial Japanese family. Yeah. I just saw that there was a politician who, in Japan, who addressed the state of the game, basically, but I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know what was specifically mentioned, but Japan is not happy with that game. And like I said about it's a game about assassins, and you want to set it in a country that has like some of the most famous assassins, the ninja. And we couldn't make it work. You'd think that would just be a... What's up, Lissy? I'm still streaming? Yeah, I should be wrapping up soon, but I want to finish this Chun Li. Did I see the VTuber that got banned for streaming it because Ubisoft gave her the wrong time? No, I think if I read that story correctly, she said, hey, I'm going to stream at 7 a.m. And then Ubisoft said, yep, 7 a.m. sounds good. And then she goes to stream, and then probably someone said, hey, why is she streaming our game at 7 in the morning? And then the intern or whoever had to be like, oh, no, I told her 7 p.m. So they copied... DMCA'd her and got her channel banned, which is horrible. Yeah, Ubisoft's stock has been in the tank. Has been in like a complete nosedive. If I'm to do the guy, we have a boo graph going on with their stock situation. Investors are pissed off because what, they came out last year, they had a whole bunch of flops, right? They had the NFT game that they had to take off the market. They had Prince of Persia, which they didn't market at all, so I had no clue that there was even a new Prince of Persia game. So good job treating one of your IPs with, you know, love and care and whatever. Skull and Bones was another big flop. Really, besides Assassin's Creed, what else do they have going on for them? Oh, they have Siege X. They have the 10th year of Rainbow Six Siege, but like, that's a 10-year-old franchise. The Division, Ghost Recon, are those all Tom Clancy IPs? Like, I wouldn't have minded. They have Uno. You have Uno! No, I don't. I have the oldest Xbox known to man. Hate how they left Beyond Good and Evil hanging. Yep. I did not know Ubisoft was in the dumps like this. Oh, sorry to break the news to you, Lissy. Yeah, they kind of need Assassin's Creed to sell well and do well, but I don't know. Oh, shoot. But they might have to pull a Square Enix. They might have to start selling some of their IPs off to other companies. I saw the update for Siege. I stared at it for 5 minutes, wondering if I wanted to go back. Decided against it, yeah. I don't know if Siege X changes enough about Siege to make me want to come back to it. Square Enix did what? Yeah, didn't Square Enix have to sell some of their IPs? Hang on, I'm gonna take some water. My throat's really dry. Trying to think, what properties did Square have to give up? Did they have to give up Hitman? Yeah, Square Enix kind of did the same thing that Ubisoft did, where they tried to make a whole bunch of NFT games and then ended up losing a whole lot of money and had to sell off some IPs. Right? I'm not making that up. That's what happened. IOI bought themselves out of Square. Oh, okay. So I was a little bit wrong on what happened. Ubisoft owns Heroes of Might and Magic. If you like Heroes of Might and Magic, and you want something that plays like it, then I would recommend checking out Heroes Hour on Steam. I've played 30 hours of it, and I can't put it down. It is really good. Hey, what's up, Baron Von Kame? How are you doing? How's the career of hand modeling? If you like hands and blue gloves, I think it's going pretty well. But we're almost done with Chun Li. We finished one arm, made it nice and smooth. Fixed a lot of the issues that came up with the printing, so we're gonna finish this arm, and then I think we're done. I think oh, I got a little bit to do on the hair ribbons. Yeah, they sold Tomb Raider, that's right. Painting another stream then? Yeah, so when we're done sanding and spot curing this Chun Li model, I'm going to prime her, and then next time I bring her on camera, she'll be primed in white and we'll be ready to paint her. And I think I'm going to do an alternate costume for her. I don't think I'm going to do the traditional blue and yellow, partly because I don't want to paint in yellow, because yellow does not paint well. I have another model that has flowers around her base, so I was doing blue petals with a yellow center, and holy crap, yellow just wants to run, and it doesn't layer at all. I hate painting in yellow. So anything I can do to get away from yellow. Merlin, who was here earlier, suggested a red and white color scheme for her uniform, and I kind of like that. Is it like the hue or something? I'm not sure. It's something that's in the paint, to like the pigment or something. It just runs, and it doesn't adhere, and it doesn't layer at all. Oh my god. But yes, Lissy, there will be a painting stream. We could do purple. I'm not against purple. I love purple as a color. But would Chun Li look good in purple? I guess Chun Li could probably look good in anything now that I think about it. We can see? See what? Chun Li looks good in everything. She's our queen. For Honor, which barely gets any covering. Well, For Honor was a fun game. We can see you like purple. Oh, fair enough. That's what you meant. I kind of want character colors to change the character's skin tone. I love those costumes. That'd be crazy if I did like a Gyaru Chun-Li and gave her like the super tan skin and blonde hair, bleach blonde hair. I don't trust my painting well enough to go off the rails like that. Red and white would be a very Asian style if you would. Yeah, red covers very well and white covers just fine. Gyaru Chun-Li would go hard, yeah. But like I said, I don't trust my painting skills to try to pull that off. I think we'll stick to the... We're gonna wait 1 more hour, computer, sorry. No, I don't want to ban Nurgle. I was... Sorry, sensitive mouse? Touchpad over there. Ubisoft also put out Star Wars Outlaws. I almost forgot that existed. Yeah, that one also flopped. Could ask a Gundam on painting. He might respond. I have some friends who do painting really well that I've been talking to for advice. But yeah, Outlaws is just another unfortunate flop on the pile of Ubisoft games that did not perform well, which is probably why their stock is in the gutter. I just want good games, man. You know? Like, I think if you wanted to do a game about Yasuke, you probably could. But I don't think Assassin's Creed was what people wanted to see Yasuke in. I think they just wanted ninjas and samurai. Speaking of good games, you tried Metaphor? Nope, but I do have a Hulkenberg model I could print. Actually, I'll go a step further. I think Black Samurai are really cool. Afro Samurai was a pretty fun anime. How much do AAA games go for nowadays? $70. But then you got not Rockstar. Yeah, no, it is Rockstar. That basically GTA 6 they're already saying is going to be $100 on retail. Should have done Yasuke as an Afro Samurai? Yeah. I just think the problem was trying to cram him into an Assassin's Creed game. That was the problem. We got Onimusha. That's my perfect samurai game. What? Ghost of Tsushima isn't your perfect samurai game, which I still need to get and play. Alright. So remember those little sanding strips? I think I'm going to use these to try to sand between her fingers, because... paper just feels a little unwieldy to get in here. It's on sale right now. Nice. They finally released Red Dead Redemption 1 on PC for $50. 14-year-old game is for $50. Jeez. Gloves aren't the best for dexterity, are there? No, but I've had bad reactions to the resin in the past, so I'm trying to keep even the dust from touching me. And I have a mask on, so if I sound muffled, that's why, but... This might be an X-Acto knife moment. But... anything I can do to not let this stuff touch me or get breathed in would be best. Yeah, X-Acto knife is what we needed. It's just a regular N95. I don't have a full respirator. I would sound like Vader if I had one of those on. This is a water washable resin, which is allegedly less toxic, but I'm still not taking any chances. Sorry, I'm trying to look to see if there's any more snags I need to clean up. What about this spot right here? All right. This is an active activity I don't think I can do. If you had a full respirator, you probably could do it, Reggie. Okay, there's a couple of spots on her thumb we're gonna fill in. I don't think I have the patience for model building or painting. It's fun, but it's slow and tedious. I like to see the outcomes. You know, the results when you finally get all the way. Third of the way through, I jam all the pieces together and say, F it, good enough. I was like that with my War Machine models. I used to hear that you don't even technically own online games you purchase. Nope, you're only getting a license to play the game. Which sucks because you get you get these companies that shut down their servers for their games, and then you lose access to the game in the future, which really sucks. They're not printing games. They're not making games with offline modes anymore, with bots. So that way you can play the game to some degree if the servers ever get shut down. And some of these games, their online services are only lasting for like a year and a half, 2 years at most. I mean, they're churning and burning some of these games through. Oh, and we don't get the ability to make our own servers like we used to with I was talking about this the other day, Modern Warfare 1. We're used to have player-made lobbies and servers. Like you can go back and play Modern Warfare 1 right now, because I'm sure there's people still running servers for that game. Battlefield 2142, my love. Lefty, are we like long lost brothers? 2142 was my jam. Hell Let Loose, I have not played that yet. It sucks that StarCraft 2, you need the DRM each time. Yeah, you can't even play StarCraft 2 offline. Diablo 3, you can't play offline. I remember that when Diablo 3 first came out, and it's like, all right, time to play my favorite offline single-player action-adventure role-playing game, Diablo. Oh, wait, can't connect to the servers. Servers are down. Wait, why can't I play the game offline? No, you must always have an online connection. Ugh. Oh, that stuff was obnoxious. Yeah, dude, Titan Wars was awesome. You had the two giant spaceships floating in the battlefield, and you had to go collect the missile silos to take down the shields. And then you got in the rocket pods to board onto the Titans. You had these close quarter battles on the Titans. That stuff was so cool. I can play Diablo 3 Eternal for Switch. It can be played offline with no issues of this time. Lucky you. I'm talking about for us PC players when the game first launched. Only way you can play Diablo 3 offline is the Switch version? Really? Only the Switch version can be played offline? That's messed up. The rest of us got screwed. Alright, I need to sand out that spot I just cured. What's the crazy thing? I understand that companies need to like protect their product, and so that's why you have to have DRM in place. But it's crazy how like some games, you take the you hack the game and you take the DRM off, and then it's like, oh wow, we can do 1440p at 60 FPS, no problem. Because the DRM is running so many checks so frequently to make sure that it's not a pirated version that it just clogs up all the optimization for the game. Now, I think it's a shame we don't get many more sci-fi first-person shooters like 2142. I think there was a Call of Duty, and I didn't play this Call of Duty, where you had like the armor kits. Oh, you know what got kind of close? Did you ever play PlanetSide 2? PlanetSide 2 was the closest I ever got to playing Battlefield 2142 ever again. BattleBit Remastered is the perfect framework for Titan Wars 2. BattleBit was a lot of fun, but that was another game that like felt like a flash in the pan. Like the developers just like got lazy and forgot to update it, and then it died off really fast. Like I got in, enjoyed it, and then like 2 months later the servers are dead. One of my chatters is obsessed with PlanetSide 2. No, I know it's not the same, but it got pretty close for me. Okay, that's either a mark on her knuckle or a dent that I need to clean up. It's a dent, so we'll fill it in. I remember my friend got into Hawken and the servers died 2 months later. Gross. Flashlight. I will say it's really cool that when City of Heroes died, that someone was able to buy the IP from NCSoft and put together the framework to reverse engineer to relaunch the game as like a community project. City of Heroes was so good. I haven't played an MMO since. That comes close to it. Same thing with people are still running servers for Alien vs. Predator 2. Cool. A patch for the PS5 was released where the PS6 is announced. Your PS5 will explode. Gotta keep you buying the new stuff. Alright. Hopefully whatever music's playing now is... Actually, you know what? If I have to share ad revenue, who cares? It's nice to have some music in the background. We just got to fill in. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's just a few divots on the back of her ribbons. We'll clean those up, and then we'll be done tonight. Hang on, I'm trying to get caught up. Should I be slapping corpos instead? Both is good. Okay. I've been stuck in a hole playing Sword Art Online for the last 3 months. Wow, nice. I got into Heroes Hour recently, which is a Heroes of Might and Magic auto battler. So that's a lot of fun. And I've been playing Marvel Rivals, and unfortunately that's really where all my brain power has gone to. I bought Repo, but I haven't played it yet, but I have some friends who want to play it. So we will eventually stream Repo. Who I play in Rivals? I've been maining Bucky, Winter Soldier, a lot, but I don't always get to play DPS. So I want to be a good Loki, but I don't always get a game where I can play Loki. So I've been playing Cloak and Dagger, which at first I was like, oh, they're just in easy mode, you know, healer for the girlfriends to play. And I was like, actually, Cloak and Dagger is a lot of fun to play and pretty intricate too. But if I don't get DPS, I end up queued with like the toxic DPS who are like screaming at me for not healing them enough. Like I had a guy in a game who was yelling at me for not, because I was in Cloak form as Cloak and Dagger, so that's the DPS form between the two characters. And they were like, why weren't you in healer form? You know, they died in front of me because, you know, they had the entire team shooting them. I couldn't out heal that. But I had Hulk on me, and I was like, bro, I was just going invisible and running away. Hey, I can't heal you if I'm dead, so I run away to stay alive so I could try to heal you later. Like, no respect. Yeah, so if I don't get to play DPS, I end up trying to support either toxic DPS or just people who'll play like Iron Man against like Hela, Punisher, and Spider-Man, which are like 3 counters to Iron Man, and the guy will go like 1 in 5 and be like, oh man, I wish I could get some heals. I'm like, my brother in Christ, you are getting hard countered and you refuse to change characters. Iron Man is not working. Do anyone else. But no, I just gotta shut up and heal. I don't play a lot, but I love Jeff. He's cute. I do have a Jeff model I could print. I could put that on the poll for the next character we met. Jeff is another character that I thought was like, this is just an easy mode character for the girlfriends to play support with. And then I pick up Jeff, and I was like, oh, Jeff is a lot of fun. And Jeff also does a surprising amount of damage. And Jeff is also impossible to kill. And the first night I played Jeff, I had like 3 ults of his back to back to back, where I ate the entire enemy team in his ultimate and spit them off the ledge 3 times in a row. So I had MVP because I killed 15 people as Jeff. I didn't start Marvel Rivals. I got enough on my plate to deal with. I have too much on my plate too, and I still picked up Rivals. I was like, oh, this game's good. Or are you playing the way I tell you to play, Random Stranger on the interwebs? Dude, I had these guys screaming at me to get off Loki, so I got off Loki and go... I went Rocket or Mantis, something like that. Like, no, we need someone with like a big ult. Oh, I went Rocket and ended up on Mantis because we were like, we need a big healing ult. Don't play Rocket. And I was like, all right, I can play Mantis. And then they got mad that I was using the damage boost on Mantis on them. And they're like, this person doesn't know how to heal. I'm like, you were at full health, so I gave you a damage boost and you killed Groot with it. Like, hello? I did what I was supposed to. Anyway, ended that game with doing the most healing of both teams. And then looked at the scoreboard. I mean, the Punisher who was yelling at me, he was 24-3. Oh shit. Excuse me. Sorry, I just almost cooked my entire pot of resin. Trying to get this hair. So, all right, 24-3 is Punisher. Like, all right, you're going off, you're doing your thing, right? But like the other guy who was yelling at me was a 9-6 Squirrel Girl and never swapped off Squirrel Girl any of the matches. I was like, hang on a second. I don't think I was the problem playing a healer and playing Loki. Because you couldn't do damage as Squirrel Girl, one of the other easy mode turn off your brain and, you know, just spam nuts at people characters. How badly did I cook this? Oh, okay, no, it's still good. Genji moment. I had another game where I had a Venom on my team, and he leapt behind enemy lines around the corner, went all the way up into their spawn by himself, like soloing the entire enemy team, dies. We capture the point though, because he kept the entire enemy team at bay, but then he respawns and he's like, all right, I guess I'm not going to get healing. I was like, bro, you're 100 yards away and around a corner. I need line of sight to heal you. Okay, so these pieces are kind of flimsy, so I gotta be very careful trying to sand these so I don't accidentally break them. What the heck is a squirrel girl? She's a Marvel character. She's just a girl who has squirrel powers. So she has a slingshot that hurls giant acorns, and she does some of the most DPS and some of the most damage in the game. And then her ultimate is called Squirrel Tsunami, I think, where basically she summons a horde of squirrels and they go and nibble everyone to death. And it's actually one of the most devastating ultimates in the game if you're caught in the wrong hallway. Because they go in a straight line, but they bounce off a wall. So if you're in a hallway and she fires it at an angle, they go boop, 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 boop. Oh, Squirrel Stampede, not Squirrel Tsunami. Sorry. That's why I stopped playing Rivals. Always some extra loud jackass telling everyone what they should be so he can get his kills. Yeah, it's not a kills matter game, because I've definitely lost games where my team had the most kills. And it's definitely not... I mean, you can have one character or one player that's doing a lot of work, but one guy can die because you only have like 250 health as a DPS. I remember when I was playing Punisher and enemy Hulk was yelling at me that I was a no-skill player when he was just running head first into my turret. Yeah, his turret is nasty if it doesn't get dealt with right away. I don't know. I try to say good game, well played, and good round and all that stuff. I found with Hearthstone, saying GG, well played to my opponent afterwards helps keep my salt levels down so I don't get angry at a loss. You know? But, I've played with people who got mad when I say GGWP in all chat, even when we lose. That's why I turn off voice chat. Yeah, just hopefully they don't start banning people for having voice chat turned off. You know, like, oh, this person's not communicating with the team, they're throwing. I do like, and Marvel Rivals is the only game that I've seen this. Like, if you report someone as cheating or you report someone as toxic, they will update your report and say, hey, we reviewed your report and we agree that this person shouldn't be using the chat in the game anymore, so we've restricted their chat privileges. Or, yep, this person was definitely aimbotting, we banned their account. Like, oh, that is so cool that I get feedback on my reports to know that we have removed problematic characters and players. I mean, it's a free-to-play game, so they're just going to make a new account. But it's still, you know, it's still nice to get the follow-up. A feedback report in games is dopamine. Yeah, it's amazing. All right, that's one hairpiece. Oh, wait, hang on. I just saw... Last hairpiece. The consequences will never be the same. That's an old video. I'm just hearing proud snitches. Yeah, Reggie. I don't want toxic people on my team. I just want people to play their favorite characters and play their hardest. And then at the end say, you know what? It was fun either way. I will say unironic, or maybe it isn't unironically. Well, maybe it is a little ironic that I've encountered less toxic people in competitive mode than I have in quick play. Like, if I could play ranked cross-platform, because I have friends who play on PlayStation and Xbox, you can only do quick play cross-platform. And quick play is full of horrible people. But when I play by myself on PC on ranked, I'll get people who say, you know, good luck, have fun, good round, good game, well played. Hey man, do you mind if I play Winter Soldier? Or does someone want to swap me? You know, I'm not feeling it as, you know, as tank this game. You know, way better communication. I barely remember any toxic people when we played Modern Warfare 2019. On hardcore? Oh, man. Yeah, and I was playing hardcore and farming skins. Yeah, I kind of miss Modern Warfare 2019. That was a good one. I haven't played a Modern Warfare since, actually, now that I think about it. Hey, take it easy, Lefty. I'm going to be wrapping up here soon, too, because I do have work tomorrow still. And I don't want to be tired for work. And we got Atelier Yumiya releasing, so it's going to be a big alchemy day for us tomorrow. But you have a good night, and we'll catch you next time. Marvel Rivals will? Yeah, I want to stream it. But I'm probably going to have to play a little bit less of it so I can focus on making videos again. Gotta get the channel back up to speed. 2 months was exactly enough time for me to kill all the growth on my channel. So I need to come back from my health hiatus and bring the streaming back and get back to making shorts and try to get back to making edited videos again. Boo, he's trying to leave. I gotta go sleep, Reggie. If I wasn't employed, I'd just stay up and keep going. But I just need to... Okay, so we just got a little bit of dots, and we're gonna fill in real quick. You got this. I'm feeling pretty good. Talk things over with my YouTube partner managers, so I have a content strategy for getting back in the swing of things. So yeah, there's some flash on the end here. Gonna sand that off real quick. I thought it was kind of crazy that even though I'm only a 2,000 sub channel, I still got picked for getting a partner manager. Remember the Lego stream? I saw 12:45 and said F it, we ball. Yeah, but that was on a Friday, so you know, me staying up into a Saturday was not a big issue, but this is a Thursday. And I want tomorrow to be my F it, we ball stream because we'll be playing Yumiya. I need to fix this part of the ribbon too. How do I happen to get a partner manager? I actually got approached by YouTube first. Like, these guys reached out to me. And I think their jobs at YouTube are to manage a lot of channels. Because this guy's done work for a very large channel. I don't know if I should be saying what channel he's worked on. So when he told me that, it was like, oh yeah, I worked on this guy's content. I was like, oh, okay, so you're like the real deal on doing some of this stuff. So a lot of it comes down to, you know, me making the videos and content for you guys. But, you know, it filled me with a lot of motivation to get back in here now that some of my health stuff is clearing up. Working again is exciting and sad, yeah. Stay employed, the job market is dookie. I like my job, so I want to keep it as long as I can. But I was salivating when my my partner manager was like, hey, if we get you to this many supporters on your channel, you'd be making this much a month, and then you could do YouTube full time. I was like, bro, don't make me. I was like, that's just a dream. And he's like, no, it's actually attainable for a lot of people. So my partner manager actually is like trying to help me grow the channel so that way I could do this full time. And it's like, that's crazy to present it to me like this. Missed some of your Yumiya stream. What did you think about the new synthesis system and from what I played in the demo? I need to play with the system some more. I made a short on it, you know, only 50 seconds. But it's kind of funny because I think in one of my, maybe it was Fierce I was talking about it. But I definitely remember talking about a system where you had crafting in 3D and you would put an item into the synthesis and the quality of the item would reveal more nodes that you could select to gain like quality or damage up or all the other upgrades that you had in like the Ryza system, where you could get synth quantity, synth quality, element spread, all those different types of things. And the Yumiya system is pretty close to that. So I like the idea of the higher quality item creating a bigger resonance, and you gather more mana the bigger resonance that you create, and that mana feeds into the formula to level up the alchemy, so that way you get damage up, quality up, those sorts of things. It's absolutely not derailing the stream, Dr. Thunder, to ask me that type of question. But yeah, I like this system because I was like, Sophie and the Sophie games, Sophiris and so on, you're placing items in like Tetris and you're trying to jam as many of them as you can to multiply your effects out to get all the effects on the alchemy. I like the Ryza system a lot because it was an intuitive mathematic way of leveling up an item. So you put an attack level 1 and an attack level 3 and the result will be an attack level 4. So I'm glad that Yumiya completely came off in a completely different way. But I guess we'll see tomorrow what the full system is. I think it has a lot of potential. It doesn't feel like it's doing too much. Like it's not too it's not too ambitious, and it's different, but still an intuitive different. Hopefully it is smooth running. Yeah, I just hope that there's I hope they still have the things that you could do in Ryza, where you can make a Zettel and then put the Zettel into the paper and then the paper into the Zettel. You can like stack your alchemy to level it up quickly, but also like duplicate traits and items technically and things like that. So I hope they don't move away from breaking the alchemy system like you've been able to do in every other game. I'm surprised the game has mixed reviews, but that's from being the PC unoptimized. It's definitely unoptimized. I know I had to turn off motion blur, and then I went to change the DLSS setting, and it ended up crashing my whole stream. But once I changed the DLSS, then I was getting 60 FPS again. But yeah, I think I had frame issues on Ryza and Sophie too. Like their ports to PC have not been optimized for a while. Like not every game's been very optimized. So it's just something that you have to deal with. I should have bought the Switch version, but I kind of panicked last minute and realized I hadn't bought it, so I bought it on Steam again. And immediately after playing the demo, I was like, oh, my heart breaks again because I'm playing another unoptimized Koei Tecmo Atelier game. So that was sad. That was the only drawback that I was not happy about. I'm just going to sand her bangs a little bit here. I don't know, there's some divots on this side of the bangs, but I'm not too worried about it because when it gets attached to her head, you're not going to see behind the bangs, so I'm not going to fill those in. I'm just going to let those linger. I'll sand it down a little bit so the paint still sticks to it. We got a little bit of flash right there we'll take off. Yeah, I'm gonna get burned if Steam ever goes, yep, we can no longer service everyone on their digital copies of games, so you lose your library. I'll just be like, oh, well, you get no more video games for me. Alright, guys. We did the hair buns, we did the arms, we did the chest, we did the head, we did the base. Took me a little bit longer than I thought, but here we are. I'm probably gonna use Milliputty. I'm not gonna do that right now because that stuff takes a while to take effect. But I'll use Milliputty to fill in the holes here and the holes here. I tried using resin, but the resin just seeps in. It doesn't actually collect the way I want it to. And then this dent right here, I'll probably use Milliputty to fill that in. But the rest of it, she's ready to go. So we will prime her up. I'm going to use white primer because I think it makes the colors pop on these anime figures way better. You want brighter colors on the anime figures, whereas on the war models, you want black primer and more muted colors. But, yeah, next time we'll paint Chun Li. This went really well. I didn't think I'd have so much fun with the hand cam streams, but I really want to get into airbrushing and touch up my Gundam models. Unfortunately, I don't airbrush. When I paint, it's all going to be hand brushes. So I have not found an airbrush that I like yet, so I can't make a recommendation on one, unfortunately. Right now, all I could really recommend is Gorilla Glue and Rust-Oleum Primer, because that's what I'm using right now. And then for my paints, I used Vallejo Hobby Color, I think is the brand. But the paint's done pretty good for me. Try to see if this needs to get sanded down a little bit more to fit in there. No, I think it fits. Yeah, that fits pretty snugly. All right. Well, I'm not going to prime her tonight. I need to get ready for bed, but I will have her primed up for next week when we'll come back and do the paintings. So I'm going to cure all this and throw it out, so that way it's not poisonous to anyone. Yeah, you stay dangerous too, Mercenary. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm going to probably have to credit whoever's music we're on right now. Let's find someone to raid. Oh, we landed on royalty-free, copyright-safe music. Oh, I think it might actually be from the same guy. Oh, it is the same guy, so I don't even have to add an audio credit. It's the same audio. How about that? You know, I'll just let it keep playing. All right. Who's still up? Dingus. Dingus is playing Xenoblade Chronicles. We could go check him out on Twitch. Zip it up and zip it out. Yep. No problem, Daniel. Thanks for hanging out. Get some good resin, be ready to res and grind. It'll be Friday, so I'm not going to work that hard. Oops. Alright. We're going to hit the slash raid on Twitch. Nope, that's not working. Thank you so much, Cyber. We'll be back tomorrow for Atelier Yumia. Same time, 8 o'clock. We'll be playing for a few hours, probably till 1 or 2 o'clock. And then, actually probably midnight or 1 o'clock. Let's be real. Yeah, that's all I really got going. So thank you guys so much for hanging out, for watching, liking the stream. I'm glad to be back and streaming again and getting on the content grind. Let's find someone here on YouTube to raid. Redirect to... Ariel is playing old school RuneScape. And she usually goes quite long, so... Oh yeah, she's live. Okay, I was like waiting for the confirmation. Okay, if you guys are sticking around on YouTube, say hi to Ariel. If you guys are sticking around on Twitch, say hi to Swollen Dingus. If you guys are heading off right now, have a great night. Hopefully we see you tomorrow for Atelier Yumia. And if I don't see you tomorrow, my schedule goes out on Monday. And that's when we'll figure out when the next Chun Li stream will be, which is where I'll be painting her. So take care, stay safe, stay out of trouble. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.